everyone, and welcome to Random Number Generation, the GDQ Hotfix show about randomizers, the runners, and the communities behind them. I'm Sky Bills, your host, and this is episode, oh my goodness, we've broken the 100 barrier again, 101 Pokémon Crystal, full item randomizer with the one, the only, Kizaron. Before we get started here, we have just a couple announcements here on behalf of Games Done Quick. There's a lot going on here. So first of all, join the official GDQ Discord and add the Hotfix role where you can keep tabs on upcoming events, talk with staff and showrunners, and more. Use !Discord in Twitch chat for more info. And if you've missed out on any of our shows or events, be sure to check out the VODs on youtube.com/GamesDoneQuick. And go to gamesdonequick.com/hotfix for more info on our weekly shows and weekend specials. And 3 events going on coming up. Oh my goodness. GDQ's next all-women and femme speedrunning event, Flame Fatale, returns August 18th through the 25th. Use !FF in Twitch chat to check out the schedule and let us know what you're looking forward to the most. I hope you all see the Mario Shuffler. I'm a little biased. GDQ is going to PAX West from August 30th through September 2nd. The schedule's now out, and use !PAX in Twitch chat for more info, and let us know what you're excited about there. And last but definitely not least, Games Done Quick Express is returning to TwitchCon from September 20th through the 22nd. Submissions will be open tomorrow, July 17th to July 24th. Use !GDQX in Twitch chat for more info. So again, lots going on here with GDQ. With that being said, though, Keys, how are you doing? Welcome back to the show. What's up?
Oh, you know, I'm here. I'm alive. I'm still on my Pokemon BS. You know, the usual.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I asked Keys, I'm like, all right, so what kind of Pokemon do you want to do this time? Keys like, full item rando seems good. And I'm like, all right. A lot of people like their Pokémon Crystal, for instance. So before we get started here, Keys, what is it with you and Pokémon Crystal in particular? There's so many Pokemon games out there.
Yeah, so it's really just nostalgia. Like, this was the game that I played the second most as a kid. The one I played the most was Diamond, Pokemon Diamond of all things. But I just have a bunch of really good memories. I remember being a military brat on base and going in a camping tent in our backyards with my friends, and we would all be playing a Pokemon game and just be there like all afternoon and whatnot. Like, it was just a lot of fun vibes.
Aw, well, yeah, and the cool thing I always liked about Crystal is, and I believe this is the same for Gold and Silver, you can go back and forth between Kanto and Johto, and for me, as someone who grew up on Red, Blue, Yellow, like, that was always like, oh my gosh, this is a huge game. Well, now we fast forward to 2024, and that's so tiny now compared to what we do have now with current Pokemon generations.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I definitely love that both regions are in. I remember I didn't know that for a while, though.
Really?
Like I beat the Elite Four, and I was like, oh, okay, that's it. And then I came back a week later, and my friend was like, hey, did you know that there's more gyms? And I was like, what?
So yeah, as we get going, I do have a few more questions, but I want to make sure we can get this started because sometimes this rando can end up being a little cursed. So
a little bit.
Just a tiny bit. Without further ado, Keys, go ahead on your count.
All right, we'll start up in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck and have fun. So, Keys, if you can remember, now this is a big if, because this was probably a while ago, and I probably couldn't remember my first team. What did your first team in Pokemon Crystal look like?
Oh, I can tell you for sure.
Okay.
I picked Totodile.
All right.
I traded my friend for a Mareep because I was very, very, very upset that Mareep was not available in Crystal. So I had Totodile, I had Mareep, I had, what else did I have? I had a Growlithe, I had a Ghastly, and then the last 2 slots were just kind of shuffled around a lot. At one point in time, I ran the shiny Gyarados because I was like, this is so cool, he's red.
Yeah, well, I just love Gyarados, period, on there, so let's see what we got. The Pidgeot, Typhlosion, all right. Oh!
All right, I'm picking this because it won't die.
Well, yes, I would feel like that is the pick, but honestly, I don't think there was a terrible pick in any of this.
Yeah, like Pidgeot would, I guess technically be the worst, but I mean normal type and flying type have really strong moves anyway, so it's not like it was going to be bad. But there's also a chance that because it's an item rando and I can potentially go anywhere and everywhere that I might be able to find something much higher level eventually. Or you can learn Peck Buddy. Oh my god.
Wait, it already knows Arrow Blast? What?
All right, well.
Wow. Wow.
Well, this is spicy.
Well, in Randomizer, typically when I play one, if things tend to be too good to be true at the beginning, I usually go with the philosophy it usually is. And
it definitely is. There's going to be something that happens. You know it, I know it.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, Machamp's cool.
It's going to be experience is what it is. So I can't remember if I ran this version of the mod the last time I was on the show, but we use something called Speed Choice, which adds a bunch of like quality of life stuff and like sped up animations, so on and so forth. You might have noticed that when I attacked the Machamp, not only was there no animations because they're turned off anyway, but the health bar just vanished. There's animation speed ups for any animations that are still in the game, so it saves a lot of time. Ooh, leftovers, that's a good item.
So for folks who may not be familiar with the settings of when you do Pokemon Crystal Full Item Randomizer, what can someone expect watching this and possibly playing it in the future on these settings?
Chaos. You can expect chaos. You're going to have to think a lot. Hey, look, I have badge already. I have to, I always have to like keep track of like any funky things that might be happening. I also have like I have shop randomizer, so like money management and resource management is so much more important now.
Oh,
like a Pokeball could cost like $1,200.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
Yeah, so you have to be like extra careful.
And the goal of this is to get all the items, badges, possible HMs you need to travel around, all of that, and then defeat the Elite Four in Kanto, Johto, both?
So the ultimate goal is to make it to red. So I will need all 16 badges. I'll need to defeat the Elite Four. However, I can find a way to travel all over the place. It's a combination of different items, which I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. My brain does not want to tell me what those items are right now. But there's a combination of items that'll help me get there.
Well, thanks to y'all, we do have this wonderful tracker that folks in the audience can see. So those are the items that Keys is looking for. We even have that nice little go button there. Back when I started randomizers, that would have been a really nice feature to have. So I like this. This is a very, very nice tracker.
Yeah, like I'm a little biased, of course, but I do think that a lot of the Pokemon trackers are really, really good because they're simplistic enough to where it's not an overwhelming amount of information, but it's very obvious for the most part, like what you're getting. I know some of the items on the tracker might not look familiar to some people, which is completely understandable. Like there's this thing that I'm flashing right now. This is the machine part, for example. Like we don't ever see that icon.
Now, apologies to you two here because we cannot get your live comments, but we are a live show right here on Twitch, and we do have some questions here from the chat. We are an active chat-friendly show, so we do our best to respond, unless Keys needs some serious time for this, of course. But we have our first question from the chat here. It says, please ask Keys, again, thank you for saying please, that's heckin' awesome, if the squirrel from Monday survived. Keys, does this have to do with our conversation in the pre-show? What happened?
Okay, so as some of you may or may not know, the first step is back, and it's on every other Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern. So, similar time to before, just a different day. I was practicing for the game we were doing that day, which was Minecraft Dungeons, which if you did not see that speedrun in SGDQ, you totally should. Really, really fun game. Also really hard game to speedrun. But I had just finished my practice stream, and the moment that I cut my stream, my internet went down, and it was down for 2.5 hours. And it was because a squirrel decided that a cable outside was delicious. And
oh no.
I don't think that squirrel is with us anymore.
Oh no.
But yeah.
Why does this always happen during streams? Some of the most ridiculous stuff.
I don't know. It's wild.
Okay, so we have another question here. Please ask what Keys' favorite Pokemon is. Can you pick one, Keys? There's so many.
There's a lot, and depending on the day and my mood, you might get a different answer.
Okay.
A lot of times the answer, like I'll rotate between Zoroark, specifically Hisuian Zoroark from Legends Arceus. Like it's really, really cool. I like the design. I unironically like Jinx now because it's been a meme for me for so long that I now I have no choice. I'm in too deep. I also really like Gengar and Zapdos.
And I should have known that, right? Didn't you say you caught a Ghastly the first time you played this? Like Ghastly was on your team? Yep. So then you'd have, hopefully, Gengar. I was the kind of person where once I got the Game Boy Advance SP, I know this is old. I know y'all. But I'd use the link cable, again, old, to link the two games up so I could get Gengars and Alakazams in particular. Mm-hmm. Did you have anything like that?
I sure did. In fact, because we're horribly aging ourselves this show, apparently. I remember when Crystal came out, and I was like 9 or 10, I think. Yeah. But Crystal came out with this bundle for the Game Boy Color. Like it was the clear atomic purple Game Boy Color, and it came with Pokemon Crystal, and it was like $10 cheaper if you bought it bundled or something. I remember I told my mom, hey, I really want this. Like, I like Pokemon games. I really want Pokemon Crystal. I didn't say anything about the Game Boy itself. I guess she misunderstood the instructions and was like, I don't know why this game's so expensive, but I got it for you. And she got me the Game Boy that had it too.
Oh my gosh.
So I had 2 Game Boy Colors, and I'm like, okay, perfect. I don't need my friends for help. I'm just gonna trade.
All right, a couple other great questions here from the chat. What is your least favorite Pokemon? And maybe if you can't think of a least favorite Pokemon, maybe even a least favorite Pokemon type.
Skiploom.
A Skiploom?
Skiploom.
Really? Even more so than, like, I don't know, Weedle or...
I hate Skiploom.
Okay.
There's a story as to why I hate Skiploom.
Okay, all right.
I don't know if it's a justifiable story.
No, please. Yeah.
So I was doing a randomizer bingo, and I caught a Pokemon that had Rock Smash. If you don't understand the relevance of that, chat, Rock Smash gives you a level 15 Pokemon, and since I got it, early, I only had like a level 6 Pokemon or something. I was like, okay, cool. I have a potential chance to sweep the early game with something that's like more than double the level it should be. Unfortunately, it was a Skiploom, and it was probably the worst run I've ever had in my life.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm a Skiploom hater. Yeah. Sorry to any Skiploom enthusiast in chat. I am not that.
That is, I totally understand. So along the things you dread the most, Skiploom being one of them, what part of this run, in particular, just Pokemon, item rando in general, do you dread the most?
I think what scares me the most with these, which is preventable if you set the logic this way, but I never do because I have one brain cell. But anytime the logic expects you to get to a much later part of the game early, when you're just not physically prepared for it. Like there's been some seeds I had where I could go to Kanto early and they expected me to beat Sabrina. Again, something that is within your power to stop from happening. I just never do it. So, I have to fight a gym leader with level 50s and I have a level 20. So, but it also adds like a neat little element to it too. It gives me an opportunity to like find new ways to cheese fights or something. There was one seed I did where I had to go to the Elite Four Mart. Like I didn't have to beat the Elite Four specifically, but I had to go to the Elite Four Mart to get an item.
Yeah.
To progress. I think it was cut of all things.
Oh.
And I was supremely underleveled compared to my rival. But we did this thing where like I had X defends and I did that to survive and stall out PP. Then I had to land a dynamic punch to confuse it, and like it was like solving a puzzle. So that was a lot of fun. But it was also dreadful and like one of the worst things I've ever done in item random.
I'm sure we'll find something ridiculous tonight. We always do when I have you on either of my shows, and it's usually really good content for the audience, so I don't want it to be too much of a pain for you, but at the same time, I do find it wildly entertaining when something unexpected happens. Except, I will remind you throughout, and I have to do this, Keith, given our friendship, please be sure to save your game.
All right, I'll do that right now. Good call. Good call.
Right,
good call.
right?
I think that was my first save of the day. Man.
I don't want to be that person, but I just want to make sure.
No, be that person, please.
The first ever show I had here on GDQ Hotfix, a very long time ago, might I add, poor Keith had a corrupted save file. And I believe it was my first Mercy Kill that we had. And
it sure was.
Yes, it was.
Episode 1 of Mercy Kill, 6 minutes in, corrupted save.
I was like, no, you didn't save. So
it was horrible.
Another question here. Are shinies possible? I want to say yes. It's Crystal. Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep, it's the old rate. So what, 1 in 8,190 something, 92, I think.
Did you find any besides the red Gyarados keys? And this is my own question. I only saw one when I was playing Pokemon Silver, and I found a Bellsprout, and I had no clue what a shiny even was. I just saw it, and I'm like, I thought like it had glitched out, right? Because Keys and I come from an era where some of us made bad decisions and caught stuff that procced off of missing no and like, you know, level 200 Pokemon, and then your file got corrupted. That had legit happened to me. So I thought it was along those lines, right?
Sure.
And I caught it.
I don't think I found a shiny in this game. I think my first shiny that wasn't the Gyarados was an Emerald.
Oh, really? Okay.
And that one I forced. Like that one I wanted the shiny Rayquaza, so I saved in front of it and I reset for like 2 weeks straight. Now granted it wasn't like all at once. I did it on the bus to and from school. It was like a 30-minute bus ride, so it's like, you know, I'd get like an hour of resets in every day during school.
Yeah.
Like, other than that, like I never. The funniest thing about that one though, and this is absolutely absurd luck.
Yeah.
I spent the 2 weeks to get that shiny Rayquaza, and then my friend had mentioned that, hey, you can get a Beldum in Steven's house. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. And the Beldum was shiny first try without even trying.
Wow.
So like, I got a back-to-back shiny. I was like, this thing's sick, and I didn't realize that it wasn't supposed to be blue. So I was just like, oh, this is really cool. Why does it turn blue? It doesn't. You got a shiny.
So another question from the chat, and again, these are wonderful, y'all. Is it possible to randomize Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, Platinum like you can with Crystal? And if so, how come you don't run that? Or I'll say run that as much. Because, y'all, I'll tell you something. When it comes to Pokemon, Keys is another Pokemon professor. You know what I mean? Like, Keys knows, like, so much about Pokemon. Just Crystal happens to be the favorite here. But is it due to the length of time that you don't run Diamond, Pearl, Platinum? If I were to take a guess, I would say it doesn't have as much of a nostalgia factor, but I'm going to let Keys answer.
I mean, nostalgia does play some into it. It's more just the older generations of games have a lot more accessibility to them when it comes to modifying them, and also just a bigger plethora of options in the randomizers. Like I think there might be like a beta for Diamond, Platinum, Pearl for item rando, but I'm not 100% sure. And I do know that at least back then, like there were older versions of the randomizer where like the Pokedex didn't properly work. So if you wanted to do like a catch-em-all or something, like you had to take vigorous notes.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, I mean, again, back in the day, this is just in general. And again, I'm so sorry about dating those both cases. I know you didn't. Well, you technically did sign it up because you know that the conversation always goes this way. It's you, it's me, it's Richard. Of course, we're going to talk about this. But it's like, if we ran into something like how I ran into the shiny Bellsprout, didn't put two together with the shiny Gyarados, we didn't have internet to fall back on back then, you know? Maybe... Or at least some of us didn't even know where to go back then. So it was one of those, like, you know, you could go into your local bookstore and maybe, like, you know, buy something or even just thumb through the pages real quick, because who hasn't done that? That's a 90s kid experience. You know?
I still remember, and just to continue to further date us, I still remember going to GameWinners.com.
Okay. Oh
Because
yeah.
it was
yeah.
it was a cheat and hint site.
Yeah.
And like I remember most of the cheats they put on for Pokemon were just complete BS, right? Like it'd be really dumb stuff like, oh, you can get Yoshi and Mew3 and stuff like this. Just absolutely, ridiculously false things. But I remember my proud moment as a child was submitting the Game Winners. Like I submitted a tip. I was like, hey, if you don't evolve your Pokemon right away, you could possibly learn their most powerful moves way earlier. For example, Squirtle will get Hydro Pump at like 40-something, whereas Blastoise doesn't get it until 50-something.
Not worth it still.
No, it was not worth it. But like, I was like, they accepted my submission. I have a submission on Game Winners. Let's go. And this is Baby Keys era. Like, I think the username I had back then was like XGP. Which is like the name of the original name of the ship from Outlaw Star. Y'all are getting a history lesson.
Oh yeah, I'm not kidding when I said you were a Pokemon professor, Keys. I truly mean that. You know your stuff with this franchise. I want to talk a little bit later because we do have a few more questions. Remind me to return to it. I want to talk about one of your favorite marathons I've ever seen on your channel, Keys, the Touch Grass Marathon. But we'll talk about that later because we still got some questions from the chat here. So, what Pokemon had the biggest upgrade from original version to regional variant? So which Pokemon did you like the least in the original to the most in the new regional variant? And as an example for this person in chat, they detested Stunfisk but adore the Galarian variant we received in Gen 8.
I mean, it's not like older. So I'll give two answers. Like my general answer would be Zorua and Zoroark because I really liked how they changed from dark to normal ghost, and I just like their artistic design. If you want to go like actual old school and go back to like Gen 1 Pokemon, I really like Doug Dimmadome Weezing.
Was that the Weezing that looked like there were smokestacks, or is that something else?
So he had smokestacks at the top of his hat, and his hat looked like an absurdly comically tall top hat. He also became part fairy for some reason. Like he was poison fairy, I think, but it was really funny just going from like a gaseous ball to someone who looks like that they drink tea with their pinky up and whatnot.
That's a good one. I always liked the Alolan Executor and the Alolan Raichu. I thought both of those were babies.
Alolan Raichu is so good.
Yeah.
What a gorgeous mon.
Okay, another fun question here from chat. If either of us lived in the Pokemon world and we were a gym leader, what Pokemon type would our gyms be? I would be Dragon, 110%. I love dragons.
I'd either be Ghost or Dark. I just happen to really like mons that are Ghost and mons that are Dark.
Yeah, I could see also, though, if there was ever an evolution gym, I could see you having an evolution gym, Keys.
Yeah, that would be fun. I do really like Sylveon, and I do like Leafeon a lot, too.
Yeah, they are adorable. Glaceon's also a little sweetie. All right, so let me see. I'm catching up here. And again, this is great, chat. Alolan Marowak's really good. Yes, I agree. There are also two. There was a question. Have you done Archipelago with Pokemon? Let me tell y'all where to find that content. You can go here at twitch.tv/Keyzeron for some awesome Archipelago content. But I'll let you talk about that a lot, Keys, because you do a lot of it.
Archipelago so much.
Yep.
I do them so. Anyone who's been a watcher of the first step, I've had Pokemon Archipelago featured on there several times as like an emergency. Hey, we need to get the show going, but there's some sort of technical difficulty. Let's just do an Archipelago. I've been doing a lot of Emerald Archipelago. If I do Red at all, then I make sure it's as obnoxious as possible. So I'll do like map rando, stat rando with that. The Crystal Archipelago's apparently improved a lot since I last looked at it, so that might be something that I try out soon, like literally soon, like maybe next week.
Ooh. I'll look forward to that. So pretty much you do stream every day, right? Because I usually wake up my time and you're usually up and going. And it has been a lot of Archipelago lately. Is that about what your schedule is? You stream in about the afternoons, Eastern, we'll call it?
Yeah. Like I usually I'll start like 12 or 1 Eastern usually. And I usually go about like 6 to 8 hours because I mean this is my full-time gig, so I treat it like full-time. I try to get solid amount of time in.
That is also why y'all should follow Keys. Again, just very quality entertainment there. And again, it is a lot of Pokemon, but Keys also likes, I know you do some Ender Lilies content as well. What else lately has your eye besides Pokemon content, out of curiosity?
So I'm going to be honest. I really want to play some more Minecraft Dungeons. I had a lot of fun with it. Hobbs and I were super disappointed that we couldn't have the race that we wanted on Monday, but we're actually like planning out playing that game further. It's one of the few, not to say that we haven't done bangers for the first step, obviously, but it's one of the few TFS games where Hobbs and I have both been equally as excited to like get into. So that's something that's gonna be happening a lot soon. Really like doing Fire Emblem stuff as well. Not necessarily speedrun stuff. I like doing challenge stuff with that. Really like old school first-person shooters too. Like a lot of times if I do an Archipelago, I might include like Doom or Doom 2 just kind of as my BK mode games while I'm still doing something.
Well, if you do like Zelda 1 Keys, I'm a big fan. It's called The Legend of Doom. If you ever want to play it, it's a Doom mod that's Zelda 1. It was so much fun. I would recommend it to anyone.
I've seen that. It looks interesting.
Yeah, would very much recommend. Let me know if you ever played. I would love to see your thoughts and impressions behind it. So back to Pokemon here, because I talked about this earlier. One of the things that I'd enjoyed Keys do was the Touch Grass Marathon. It was an incentive in Keys' stream again. A bunch of us here are full-time streamers. So, Keys, what did you like the most about the Touch Grass Marathon, and what is it?
So, the Touch Grass Marathon was... It was such a silly idea. It's literally exactly what it sounds like. I played every single Pokemon game up until I touched a patch of grass that could produce an encounter. So some games were done in like 30 seconds. Some games would take like 10 to 15 minutes. And we had to make some exceptions too. Like I included like the GameCube games as well. So XD and Coliseum. And oh god, there's no actual grass. So like we just had to find like a blade of grass and I touch it and be like, that counts. Next game.
What did you do for Stadium?
Accepted that I could not add Stadium.
Now see, maybe in the future, if you were to do it again, maybe wait till you get to Erica's gym, because there's gotta be grass there.
Hit a Grassmon or something.
Yeah. Technically.
It's definitely one of those silly ideas that could probably actually be developed into something with the funniest meta.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I love that.
I think my because I had a timer up and everything. Like we made a joke like, oh, we're turning this into a speed run, and I think the biggest time that I lost was transitioning from Game Boy Advance game to DS. Because I found out that my DS capture died, so I had to grab M-Rays.
So is this a regular DS or a 3DS?
Regular.
Okay, I tried using the 3DS, and again, this could be an age thing very much. So every time I tried to turn on the 3D mode on my 3DS, I just could not understand the screen. If that made sense, I'd just be like, what am I looking at?
I turned it on once, blinked, did not like how my eyes reacted when I blinked, said nope, and turned it back off and never tried it again.
That was my experience. I was wondering if I was the only person who had been through that, but my gosh.
I think the only other time I've turned on 3D is if you had one of the like Katsukiri captures instead of a loopy capture. The software for the capture will shift very slightly to the left and the right every time you turn 3D on and off. So it'd be like one of those like nervous ticks I would do sometimes just to watch something.
Yeah. No, that's understandable. And then of course there's Game Boy Camera, and that's a whole different thing that you may want to talk to Pidge about.
Bless Pidge.
And
Bless
Void.
Pidge. I love the aesthetic. I couldn't rock it, but I love it. It's so good.
So far, what are you thinking about the seed? What are your initial impressions? Obviously, Lugia good at the beginning. Stats seem pretty decent.
Lugia good at beginning. It's surviving. I wish I could do more damage than I have been. It feels like I have really bad offensive DBs, which, for anyone that doesn't know what a DB is, it's a determinant value, which is what determines what your stats become. In Gens 1 and 2, it's a number between 0 and 15. And then from Gen 3 onward, it became individual values, IVs, instead of DVs, and it was 0 to 31. But I feel like I have like 3 or less in my offenses. It's not good. But nothing can kill me, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, so you have a tank, it sounds like. Someone asked, did we all ever have the Game Boy printer? Okay, that was really fancy technology, and honestly, back then, you were lucky just to have a Game Boy Color or a Game Boy Advance. I don't know if I've ever seen a printer in person other than, like, you know, if you go nowadays to, like, your favorite retro game store, maybe you'll see it in the wild, but it's kind of rare. How about you, Keys? You ever have any engagement with the printer?
I have the camera and the printer in a box to my right.
Ooh.
I saved a lot of my old toys. I was bad. I didn't save a lot of my old games. So, you know, getting old games again has been obnoxious. But I have a lot of my old hardware. Like I even have a Sega Genesis Model 1 and a Model 2. I have Super Famicom and SNESs just laying around.
So you said the Genesis, isn't that the one where like you kept upgrading it by putting like more stuff in it, if that makes sense? I remember seeing one,
like there's like that cartridge. There's that there's that picture that was floating around of that like super cartridge from hell where it's just like 5 billion Sonic games stacked on another.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. It's almost like as if the Genesis evolved. Like it wasn't like, you know, the expansion pack in the 64, which back then, again, that was big stuff, right? But like nowadays I hear about the Genesis and what that was like, and just every time you just kept putting another part into the Genesis. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I have one of those like the Sonic 3 and Knuckles attachment thing. And it looks so goofy. It's putting that in a Genesis is the same thing to me as like putting in the Pokemon pinball cart in your Game Boy. Because it was like so big because you had to put like an actual battery in it so you could get the rumble.
Yeah, I remember that all too well. That was definitely innovative for the time. And I remember when Fire Red came out, I was really, really excited. And then we got Heart Gold and Soul Silver, but I was a little disappointed that Heart Gold Soul Silver wasn't an advanced game because, again, the DS wasn't exactly cheap when it first came out.
Oh, no. It was not. Also, like the first set of models were like the hinges were kind of weak. So like it was really easy to accidentally break.
Oh, yeah. You always get those stories when a console first comes out, something happening. Like, you know, you ever see like the warnings, for example, for the Wiimotes, y'all, to have it attached because apparently people were like throwing the Wiimotes into their monitors or TVs or something. I was like, oh my gosh. But yeah, if a warning
I made
exists,
fun of a friend for losing a Wiimote, and then the next day I hecked up and I lost a Wiimote. So, oops.
Yeah.
There were 2 dents in my wall.
But I will say, though, that the Switch is one of the most, like, interface-friendly systems we've had in a very long time. I think that's why it's been around for so long.
Yeah, I think this is, like, Nintendo's longest console in terms of, like, lifespan.
Yeah. So that's why folks are, like, so enthused about the new, you know, Nintendo technology that would possibly be coming out. Because it's like, okay, well, what are they going to do next? And I said, as long as it's not named the Switch U, I'm okay with it. The U is cursed, all right?
Imagine if you get a Switch U.
No. I like the idea. Someone said in chat, you can share all of your ideas for what you would like the new Nintendo console to be named, but I like the idea of calling it the Super Nintendo Switch.
That would be cute, actually.
Yeah.
I'm aboard. I'm aboard. You sold me.
I sold you on that one. That's good.
You sold me. Like that sounds so cute.
I always liked it, and certainly too, it is the best that Nintendo systems have been able to hook up to the internet. For instance, if anybody tried to connect their Wii or their Wii U, if you had a Wii U, to the internet, oh my gosh, it was an adventure to say the least.
I had one of there's that like story going around about Wii U's for a while that like certain ones just kind of like died after a certain amount of time passed.
Really?
I have one of those. My Wii U no longer works.
Really? I have one, but it's in my closet now. I don't know the last time I booted it up. Maybe Oth booted it up. It's been a little while.
Luckily I had 2, which is, 2 more than I should have ever had. But because there have been a couple of TFS episodes where I did have to use a Wii U, but like my first one that I got, yeah, it's bricked.
Oh, and speaking of TFS, now I have it in my follow the runner thing because I want folks to know. But why don't you talk about the first step? Now, my show's been around for a while, but your show's been on even longer, yours and Hobbs. So yeah, feel free to talk about the first step.
Yeah, so the first step is old as dirt. That's the recurring theme of this conversation. Never forget. I think our first episode was 2018?
Yeah,
somewhere around there.
Y'all were like a year before me, I'm pretty sure, because I was 2019.
And it was Hobbs' idea originally, and he'll joke whenever you ask him. He'll joke and be like, "Oh yeah, Keys was my third choice." But he reached out to me one day and he was like, "Hey, do you want to do a speedrunning show together? Make it like a low effort show where." We kind of had the convenience, and you understand having to go through this, but we kind of have the convenience of, since it's just us as a recurring cast and not constantly rotating runners, like it saves us time when it comes to getting like vetting and tech checks taken care of.
Oh, sure.
Like we wanted to make a show that was like low overhead when it came to setting things up, but we also wanted a show that was actually kind of impactful. So the first step came about. And the whole purpose of the show, if you've never seen it, is to show how easy it is to get into speedrunning using low effort methods. So we will usually play a game once, like roughly like 8 hours or so. And then we'll take notes of any prominent things, anything that we might have found, like, oh, it looks like if you slide, then, your movement's faster than if you run, or that kind of thing. And then we'll race against each other, because doing those improv style races is a really, really awesome way to get into speedrunning, because one, you don't have the pressure of self-improvement yet because you're just getting into it, but two, just doing it with a friend really like it kills a lot of the potentially aggravating parts of a run. Like there's been many games that we've done on TFS where when I was playing it solo, I wasn't having like the greatest time with it. But then when I was racing it with Hobbs, even if I was getting my butt kicked, I'd be having a blast because I was just with a friend. And that's the important thing that everyone has to remember. Speedrunning is supposed to be fun. First and foremost, you're supposed to be having fun with it. So we really like pushing that and showing everyone that like anyone can pick up speedrun. You don't have to be fancy. You don't have to spend 15 hours practicing a frame perfect trick. You can just pick up the game and go fast.
So for folks who may not be as familiar with the first step, if you were to pick maybe an episode or two, because again, we talk about it all the time, our GDQ Hotfix shows are on YouTube and they're very diligently put up. So if you were to recommend someone to watch an episode of TFS, what direction would you point someone in and be like, yes, that is one of my favorite episodes and that'll get you into TFS?
There are 3 episodes I can think of. All for slightly different reasons, but they're all really, really good. I would recommend watching our Super Metroid race. We didn't get to finish, and it's a bit on the longer side. This was back when we were able to have like 4 hours for the show instead of 2.5. So we were able to do longer games, or games that were a lot more difficult to finish. And we had both never played Super Metroid before, which is really shocking to hear. So that was a really good episode. It was really close. There were actually a lot of points where we were actually in sync with each other, which is really wild when you think about it, because it's a Metroid game. You can go anywhere. I would also recommend Untitled Goose Game. That was actually like it was one of our like first few episodes we'd ever done. Very, very nail biter right at the end. as close of a race as we've ever had. And then there was a race. Well, it wasn't a race. We did a co-op run because sometimes we won't do races. We'll just do a run cooperatively. We did a co-op run. It was a 4-player Halo 4 run, or Halo 3 run, and that probably is my favorite episode because the vibes were really cool. We had improved a ton in our practice. Like we had splits up and could visibly see, hey, like we're understanding how to play this a lot better. We feel good about this. And it might not be like the most impressive statistic, but we had only gotten like 3 or 4 runs in, and we got like a top 20, top 15 times, something like that. And that was with very little effort.
Chat was picking out some of their favorite episodes too, so we have some TFS fans in chat. Very cool. And again, Keys, when is the next episode, just so we know?
The next episode is, and thank goodness I can see my calendar, it's going to be the 29th of July. Unfortunately, I will not be there because I will be in Michigan for a family reunion. But Hobbs will be there, and we will have a special guest fill in for me, and it's still going to be just as good of an episode as it always is. We're in the planning stages right now, like trying to nail what game we think will work best and who we want as a guest.
Well, I know.
Actually, I'll be talking about that tomorrow morning, so...
I know what it's like to be a guest. I've filled in for Hobbs, I think, a couple times.
Mm-hmm. I've enjoyed when you filled in for Hobbs because then that meant I could get away with playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Because Hobbs will never play it.
Hobbs does not. Oh my! I feel like this needs to happen for some kind of incentive. You know what? I'm gonna think about that and come back to that. We need to get Hobbs to play Yu-Gi-Oh!
I do remember one of the episodes you and I did together. We put a picture of Hobbs in one of the webcams just to be like, look, Hobbs is playing.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So yeah, chat was also reminiscing here about the first step and talking about their favorites. So we have the Donkey Kong Country show was really good. We had some love for, hang on, I'm scrolling. Because there was quite a few that folks had. The number of times you tried to run Metroid Prime where tech issues prevented it from working. Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds about in character.
No.
Someone else said, I really like the one where they coach Etchy and Spike through Pokemon and Kingdom Hearts 2. I remember seeing that series. It was pretty good.
We really, really enjoyed doing that. And Etchy and Spike, I mean, we already know that they're gamers, but like they if they needed to prove themselves, they definitely did that day because they went into this completely fresh to the format and everything, and they both did a killer job. I do agree. You know, if I could have a top 4, then I would probably include the Etchy and Spike episode because I remember every time we ever went to Etchy and Hobbs's feed, you'd hear Hobbs like giving like really detailed instructions, like yeah, like you want to do it this way, like oh yeah, if you approach it this way, then you get to skip this phase or whatever, and then you immediately go to me and Spike, and it's just the two stooges. We're just like Jolteon used Thunderbolt.
Also, I want to take a moment to shout out our tech, our wonderful friend Richard. He said, still proud of the intro video made. And there is a link to that if you all want to catch it for the Prime episode in particular, the one that folks look fondly upon. So be sure to check that out. More favorite episode of TFS was the 6-player run of the newest Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles video game. That sounds like fun.
Yeah, it was... Who was it? My old man brain is trying to remember. Oh, hey, I could go Ho instead of Lugia. Neat. There was me, Hobbs, Bobby, Covert Muffin, Emre. Oh, I feel so bad. I don't remember everyone. I'm forgetting one person. Who am I forgetting? I feel horrible.
No, I didn't want to put you on the spot.
I was just trying to remember, but that was a fun episode too. But there were some like connectivity issues now and again, but I mean, I think it was Saints.
Oh yeah, that sounds right.
Oh God, she's gonna be so mad at me. How could you forget?
I mean,
no one tell her, please. Thanks.
How long ago was that?
2022.
Okay, well, to be fair, time has been kind of distorted lately, so I think Saints will forgive you.
I hope so.
I can't remember something that happened in 2022. I get that.
Yeah, neither can I.
Another question, bringing it back to the randomizer here. What are the catch rates for each Pokemon?
Oh, so this is just for simplicity's sake and making sure that we don't go horrendously overestimate. But I just have it set to everything's a Master Ball, essentially.
Okay.
So
that's a good set.
Throw a ball, get your catch.
No, I like that because, I mean, I don't feel like really hiking up the catch rate adds anything to the randomizer, right? Like, we know how annoying it was in the original, and we tend to do that when we make up the different settings that we have, right? Does this add to the randomizer? Does this add to our enjoyment? I mean, sure, it might be a good troll for the audience to be like, we're here for 10 minutes and we're still trying to catch this Mew, but, you know, for runners, we don't want to deal with any of that.
All right, so to kind of catch everyone up on some of what's been going on in the game. Ooh, fire punch for my hobo. I got the pass early, so I'm in Kanto super duper early, and I'm gonna be honest, this was not on purpose. I usually play with 50% level boost, both for wild Pokemon and for trainers, just to like add a little bit of an extra spicy challenge. I turned off the trainers being 50%. I forgot to turn off the wilds being 50%. That's why I have a level 48 Ho-Oh when you're only supposed to get like level 20s and 30s in that grass. So, oops. But, yeah, here we are.
Someone in chat says, what do you mean? I love late bike and fly in Mount Silver.
Oh, yeah, that's another thing. Anyone who has any experience with playing these, I made sure that Fly and Bike were available early because those are the worst trolls ever. Just, it's good exercise for the character, I guess, but it's so slow.
No, we get that. And before folks come on the show, now it is completely up to my guests to determine whether or not the seed's going to be vetted. And when I say vetted, I mean, like, is there any major trolls that someone else can, like, look over and be like, hey, you might not want to have this seed on the show? However, if it is unvetted, which, you know, sometimes that makes for a fun episode, I say, well, it's at your discretion. Here's when the next show starts. If we can't meet it by then, you know, we have the double overbid on Prices Right and we move on to the next show. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I do like a little bit of a mix of vetted and non-vetted. But given, again, and this is no fault of our own. I swear me and Keys are always cursed when we're in the same room one way or another. I'm glad that you had this early.
Yeah, I've learned after doing shows with you. I've learned. I'm sure I'm gonna find something else that I'll fix for, you know, next time soon.
Oh,
I
yeah.
always do.
Well, with me and Keys, it's always something, right? It's just like this ongoing motif.
I forgot to teach Fly.
I was thinking about, me and Keys did a run of Forbidden Memories a couple years ago. I actually think it'll be 3 years ago as of January. And I was thinking about the wild luck, and the most wild that I found was the Jirai Gumo early for me. I mean, come on. What were the odds of that?
I still can't believe I didn't get an MBD, but I got a Toon Gator.
Yeah, you got multiples, right? I think you got 2 in that run.
I got 2 Toon Gators and no MBDs.
Yeah, this is why we gotta have a rematch. This is why I always propose a rematch, because we need it. Not only that,
I'm hungry for the rematch.
Not only that, it would just be fun to like encourage each other in person. You know, like it would be awesome to have a good laugh.
I think a Forbidden Memories race in person would be really, really hype.
Oh yeah,
I think the crowd would really get into it.
Oh, for sure. Double overbid's your favorite ending for The Price is Right? No, get out of here. That was too sad when both people lost. No, bad. That's cursed. But yeah, me and Keys have a lot of experience with random games. I mean, that's one of my favorite things about your stream in general, Keys. Whenever you turn it on, there's always like an archipelago or a randomizer or something of the sort going on, TFS stuff. You never know what you're going to find, and a lot of it's just you never know what to expect, right? Like none of it's like a fixed speedrun or a fixed game. It's always something beyond that, a challenge run, a randomizer, and I always enjoy that about your stream. It's a good time.
Thanks. Yeah, I have found that the longer I've streamed, the more I don't want to do exactly the same thing over and over, which is, I mean, I'm doing the randomizers of like the same games over and over, but at least like it's a different experience every time. It isn't like pure speed running where, oh, I didn't get the critical here, so I'm going to lose 5 seconds and now my time isn't as good. It's just, oh, I didn't get the crit. This sucks.
I think one of the toughest things for me to always accept about speedrunning, and you know, it's good to have these conversations, right? We just had GDQ wrap up as of this recording. Mm-hmm. It was a couple weeks ago. Again, congratulations to everyone involved. Congratulations on the money raised. It was a wonderful endeavor. But, you know, we talk about speedrunning, and speedrunning is just really exhausting. It's a lot of time saves with a lot of the time not a huge payoff, right? I mean, obviously there are exceptions. You know, we think of the barrier skip in Wind Waker, the gelato skip in Sunshine. You know, there are sizable skips, but then other times it's like, I'm going to do this skip and I'm going to lose 1 minute if I fail it and save 5 seconds if I get past it. And that's like the exhausting part about speedrunning, right? Like,
oh, definitely. And you know, that's some of the reason why I really enjoy the fact that we have a show like The First Step. Like, I'm not trying to, like, you know, pump my own ego up or anything like that.
It's a good show.
Thank you. It's just nice to have some sort of reminder, because we all get lost in the sauce sometimes, right?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It's nice to have a reminder that, hey, you can still have like fun ways to approach things, and also, hey, you can always play it safe. And a lot of times, until you're at the point where you're absolutely, like, you know, top 3, top 2, and you need to save half a second to stand a chance, a lot of times taking those like slower, safer strats is going to be so much better, not only for your mental, but you'll finish more runs that way. Mm-hmm. And I think that gets kind of lost in translation sometimes. You can practice a segment a ton. You can, like, you know, you could practice like the flagpole glitch in Mario runs over and over and over and over. You can spend hours, days working on it, but it's not going to translate to a real run success until you start getting comfortable doing it in a real run. So there's a lot of value to knowing safe and backup strats and not worrying too much about, oh, I'll lose a minute if I don't get this skip. Like, oh, well, that's a minute I can save once I'm a lot more comfortable with the game, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of, again, First Step in mind, what was your first speedrun, Keys? It's no secret, Keys has been in the community for a very long time. You know, again, I believe Keys and I may have started around the same time. But what was your first game?
It wasn't Crystal, surprisingly. Crystal was the first game that I streamed speedrunning, but my first actual speedrun was Resident Evil 5.
Really? I would have... What? You tell me this after Mercy Kill concluded. Dang it, that would have been so good to have on.
I forgot to mark the secret potion. I was trying to remember.
No, jokes aside.
But yeah, like, I loved playing it. It was a game that I actually got my dad into. Mm-hmm. So he actually... My dad's a speedrunner. He doesn't know it, but my dad's a speedrunner.
Sure.
because we would try to go through the game super fast, and they weren't top times or anything, but like we actively went in with the goal of, we want to beat this game as fast as possible, which that is speedrunning, folks. If you ever have any doubt, if you're just trying to beat the game fast, congrats, you're a speedrunner.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be some big formal thing. It doesn't have to be a confirmed time on a leaderboard. You just try to defeat a game fast. Guess what? You're a speedrunner. Like, and some of us don't even realize that. I love that moral for sure. Another question here from chat. For the people who have not heard it before, could Keys explain how you got into Pokemon speedruns?
This is a fun story
that
I love telling. Yeah. And it's also a story that it sounds like total BS, man. So I was on YouTube and I was looking up Bone Thugs and Harmony. So I just really wanted to listen to some rap that day.
All right.
And for some reason, the YouTube algorithm can sometimes be a little funky.
Oh, no.
And my
really?
recommended video after Bone Thugs and Harmony was Pokémon Crystal speedrun by Worcester in 322 or whatever it was. And I was like, wait, I loved playing Crystal as a kid. So I actually like sat down and watched it to see how he beat it so fast because I was so confused. I was like, how can you beat a Pokemon game that fast? And after watching it, looking back, this sounds like a really cocky comment to make, but after watching it, I was like, I could do this. I could beat this one day. So that's how I got into it. And I remember the first time that I actually like tied world record was a big deal to me because I was like, I did it. Like I proved to myself that, hey, I said I could do it and I did it. Now I'm super duper washed because there are a lot of really and that's not even like a self-depreciation thing. That's just there are so many fantastic Pokemon speedrunners now. I can't even like name a quarter of them now. But back in my day, I'd be able to name everyone, but now there's so many fantastic runners. I mean, like you got like a bunch of new wave of runners. Like you got Etchy, you got TTS for life, you got all these like really, really sick runners that I could not possibly keep up with at this point in time because they're really good, they're really smart.
Well, let's not forget Shen either. I want to give a big shout out to Shen, who's also been on my show a few times.
Shen is in forever. he is the living calculator.
There's been so many fantastic runs with you and Shen and Chrism. And of course, I want to, mention Atchi again too. Atchi's fantastic. And again, y'all are just such great leaders of the community. Even if you don't actively run the games as much as y'all used to, because nowadays, at least as far as I can understand, a lot of creators have gone to challenge run content, to achievement-based content, to randomizers. Some folks go so far to call it the retirement home of speedrunning, but we do that so we don't get rusty, right? Like, or so we can keep our...
It kinda is, though.
Aw, dang.
I'll never forget, like, piggybacking off of that comment, I'll never forget, I think it was the first Speedrun Coliseum. Like, I remember a lot of us were sitting on the couch. Yeah. And, Spike being Spike, he's like, welcome to the Speedrun retirement home.
That's us.
That's us.
I mean, it's no joke, y'all. Some of us are starting to be in our late 30s, early 40s, all right? Like, this is a thing.
It has been a hot minute since I've been a part of the community. Like, I think officially being a part of a speedrun community, this year is 10 years. 10 years of speedrunning.
Yeah, I started my stream 10 years ago and went to it'll be 10 years since I went to my first GDQ in January 2025, actually. Oh my gosh, that was painful to say. You're right, it has been about a decade, hasn't it?
It really has.
Retirement Coliseum was great, said Chad.
I sure love whenever I see like a brand new runner and I meet them at a GDQ and I find out they're like 22 or something. I'm like, damn it, I'm so old.
All I'm going to say is Adaf is a youngin'.
Adaf is a baby.
Adaf is so young compared to most of us.
He's such a baby.
I'll be like, wait a second, what Adaf? No, there was somebody in chat saying late 30s is retirement home. I'll tell you now, late 30s, early 40s, you definitely feel, especially if you have been speedrunning for over a decade or doing speedrunning adjacent content, you really start to feel it in your arms and your wrists and your hands. So again, note out there, please take care of y'all, because I wish I had started using compression gloves 10 years ago, and I need to do that now. And not just your hands, and also in your eyes, too. Sometimes things will start to look blurry and things like that. I mean, we laugh about this, but this does happen over time.
Yeah, like I used to wear compression gloves a lot. Like for a while, I actually had a compression glove sponsor. But I don't wear them as much anymore. And it's not because they're not good. It's that before I stream now, which I wish I did when I first started, like you said, I do a lot of like hand and wrist exercises. Like even if I know it's going to be a really, really calm and not high APM stream, like I will still stretch now. I really wish I did that when I first started.
Yeah, like I could even tell a couple days ago, I had done 6 hours of Smash Bros. Melee retro achievements because the GameCube sets just came out. And I lose track of time like any other person who enjoys games would. And at about 6 hours in, I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to stick both my arms into buckets of ice. I mean, you just feel it. And I'm just like, I didn't say anything on stream, but the minute I turned off stream, I was just like, it's so painful.
Yeah.
Literally crumbling to dust.
Mm-hmm. The bones started creaking.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we had this conversation in the pre-stream where, I can't get up from my computer chair or my couch or my bed without something creaking now. And I'm just like, is this how it's going to be now?
I can't wait until the hosts of Hotfix were all just, gray.
Well, isn't Spike starting to get, some gray in his beard the last time I looked?
Yeah, Spike's got the salt and pepper thing going on, which I actually think is a really, really nice look.
I'm just with every game of SNES Mania he completes, he gets another gray hair, and that is my story, and I'm sticking with it right now. Is there an actual retirement age for speedrunning? Approaching your 40s and you feel like that? No, jokes aside, you're not too old for it. You just got to take care of yourself, which is something I wish I took more seriously 10 years ago. No, absolutely not. My grandma played Super Mario 64 in her late 60s, early 70s. No, you're not too old for video games or streaming or speedrunning. You can totally do it. It's just more or less the older you get, the more you have to take more breaks, stretch, take care of yourself. And to be honest, we should all be doing that at a younger age. We just don't think about it because, again, we feel invincible. Right. We feel invincible. We feel like we're goal-oriented. And it's just one of those things where it's just so easy to forget these things. So I tend to talk about this kind of stuff a lot on my show, jokes aside. So let me see.
Yeah, definitely. Really, really, really good advice for sure.
Yeah, Spike's not technically a Hotfix host, but he does do GDQ Interview Crew, which, Keys, I believe you are on as well. And yeah, it's just, again, Spike is part of the crew. And yeah, just the next time you see Spike on, take a look. Again, every game he completes with SNES Mania, you see more salt and pepper as you go on. No, and again, I want to shout out Spike. He finished the whole 602 in one sitting. Keys, I don't know the last time you did a 24-hour plus stream. I just looked at that, and I just felt pain.
So... back when my bones didn't creak, I think the longest stream I ever did in consecutive hours was 30 or 31.
Wow.
If I tried to do I feel it after 6 now. Any time I do any sort of really long incentive and it's going to be 10 to 14 hours, my body is immediately dreading it, and I can't imagine doing a long challenge like 602. Not anymore.
Yeah, and that's not even a randomizer. That's just a full-on long speedrun challenge.
I would have to gosh, how would I even approach that? I'd have to not stream for a couple of days and just really build up rest and relaxation beforehand.
Yeah. Spend some time with the pupper because it's good for the soul. Keys, by the way, has a super cute pupper.
Yeah, we got Yuki, my little Samoyed. We have Boxy, who's a half Maine Coon cat, really, really cute, really talkative. And Emre's coming home with a new kitten tonight. We also have a snake, which some people aren't about. Totally understandable, but we have a snake. We have new kitten coming in. We have fur babies.
Oh, that's so cute.
I'm pretty excited for the kitten. She's a little rag doll. He's a little rag doll. He's a stray, so he is a little sick, but we are going to take care of him and then give him a good home.
Someone was asking about Scent. Now, it's been a few years since I sat down and had dinner with Scent. But it says, as Scent, a full-time speedrunner, I remember seeing him do a run of Ocarina of Time Rando a while back, which caught you off guard. Scent is doing a run at PAX West. Well, let's take a look at that schedule real quick. Let me see this. Which, by the way, y'all should follow along again. PAX West is going to be amazing. Keys, are you going to be there?
I will not be working the event, but I think I'm going anyway.
Nice.
So I will probably be there. So, and I'm probably going to hang out around the GDQ area. So anyone going to PAX West, if you want to say hi, I'm for sure going to be there.
I found out recently that PAX East is going to, because I am far away from the West Coast, very, very far away from West Coast, but the East is supposed to be taking place in May next year, so I will most likely be able to hang out at East. So that'll be fun. But yeah, let's take a look at
like
this.
a reasonable time, too.
Final Fantasy Type -0, any % cadet. Yeah, that's Sent. And not only is Sent speedrunning, Sent is doing a 2-hour run? Wow.
Yeah, so kind of backtracking a little bit to when we mentioned archipelagos, I'll do archipelagos with Sent all the time. Like Sent still does a lot of like speedrun adjacent content. He's not really a streamer. But he also very, very much keeps up with he very much keeps up with the current scene and everything.
Sent opened up RPG Limit Break 2019. Let's see this. Oh yeah. Final Fantasy Type 0, any %. That is so awesome. I would love to play an archipelago with y'all with you and Sent at some point. That sounds like fun.
Yeah, I think he's still recovering from, event fatigue.
Oh my goodness. Sent, you want to talk about like someone who gives like 150% like all the time. I don't know how Sent has that amount of energy, but my goodness, like just I can't fathom that.
Sent's a monster. Like you've seen this because you're an old-time GDQ person too. Like,
yeah,
Sent, it used to just be Sent. There didn't used to be a prize team.
Yeah,
it was just Sent.
That should be the next time y'all introduce. It's just Sent.
It's just Sent. But yeah, then we got like Game and Shout. We got Corvime now. Like the workload is spread a lot better for Sent. I felt so bad every time before the prize team existed. I felt so bad for Sent because like he would run himself ragged and you can tell he wasn't feeling good. But a lot of people at home probably didn't notice because Sent is so good at just like flip of a switch, just being the prize man. Just being really, really good at like talking about everything, having all the information about the prizes, which he knows so much about everything.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That's the power of the Prize Wizard. Yo, I bought the Prize Wizard poster that they sold towards the end of GDQ. I can't wait to get that in for my setup.
Wait, that was a thing?
Yeah, it said like, thank you, Prize Wizard, and it's just this big poster of Sent, and I was like, hey, Oth, I hope you don't mind having a big poster of Sent in our place.
Wait, that's sick. I didn't even know that was a thing.
It was a thing, yeah. I'll send you a picture of it after, yeah.
Please do. I did not know that's so cool.
Yeah, it was like towards the end of the event, like I saw the Yeti randomly at it, and I'm like, that looks pretty sweet, actually.
That's so cool.
Yeah, maybe they'll sell it again soon. I can see it be like, yo, you should sell that again because some folks may have missed that. He really sent it at the end of the event. Oh my goodness, y'all.
That's so punny.
Think any popular games would allow a subcategory of beating a game while physically running a marathon? I mean, we kind of have something like that, right? I remember like, what was it? Like the game with the hula hoop. That's on the Switch. You know what I'm talking. See, this is our bad memories here at work.
Ring Fit?
Ring Fit, yeah. So,
yeah.
I mean, that would technically qualify, right? Because you're doing both at the same time.
I would count it. I would count it. So. Oh, good old boomer memory. Our time has come.
I remember all the old stuff, Keith. I can't remember anything new.
At this point in time, if you ask me about something that happened like 2014 to 2018, I could probably give you like vivid details about it. But if it's like, hey, do you remember what you did on TFS 3 months ago?
Be like, no.
Like nothing at the time because of the new season format. But like, if you asked me that at any point in time, I'd be like, it's been 3 months.
Time is so difficult. So someone's asking, what is an archipelago? Yeah, I mean, I don't mind explaining that for folks coming in. Also, hello, y'all. You are watching GDQ Hotfix. I'm Skybills. This is Random Number Generation, and I have one of the hosts of The First Step here, Keyzeron here, who you all should very much follow again. That is twitch.tv/Keyzeron, and also check out The First Step on GDQ Hotfix as well. Be sure to check out our Hotfix site for more information on when those episodes will occur. So, again, wanted to do a reintroduction there because a lot of folks coming in saying hi. So, Archipelago, I don't know if there's any short and quick answer for this, but it's a way to play multiple randomizers at once, and it's typically done with a friend group. I've seen folks sometimes do multiple games, but I feel, and my personal opinion is, Archipelago is best shared with friends.
Definitely. It's also... Archipelago is such a convenient thing because anyone who ever goes to any sort of event, it doesn't even have to be like a speedrunning event, just any sort of con or any sort of just like group gathering. Every single time you ever like make new friends or something, it's like, yeah, like we'll add each other. We should totally play games together. And everyone plays a completely different thing. Like I've been friends with a lot of people in the Ori community and a lot of people in like the Super Metroid community. Those are games I don't play. But I'm able to do stuff with them now because they can play Super Metroid in an archipelago while I play Pokemon or Fire Emblem or something. So like we're able to play games together with the games that we know and still get to have like that fun friend time together.
Didn't you once do an archipelago where it was multiple Pokemon games?
Yep, and it's very confusing.
I bet.
There's a lot of item overlap. So I can't tell you how many times I'd get like surf and be excited, but it was for the game that couldn't use it.
Oh, hang on. Richard says you gave Ori a 9, so you're safe with us. So now what's that about?
Oh, yeah. That's such an old tweet. That's so long ago. How do you remember?
There you go. See?
We did Ori for the first step. We did Ori and Will of the Wisps like when it came out, and Hobbs was very much like, hey, play Blind Forest first, that way you can at least get familiar with the game. And I used to do this thing where I would like rate games, like just give it like, you know, a 1 to 10 thing whenever I'd finish them before TFS. And I don't think I've ever given anything a 10, and that's just because I'm being like a little bit of a snob about it. Like, there's no such thing as a perfect game, so I'll never give anything a 10. Like, you know, being super pretentious about it. I'm very self-aware that it's a silly mindset. But so like the highest I'll ever give a game is a 9, and Ori was a 9 to me. I had so much fun with it. I can't think of a single time that I was like genuinely frustrated at it. Like, I might have played up like a frustration just for like stream content, but like I had a genuinely good time. And then playing the sequel was also a ton of fun too. Like I just, the series is great.
Would you give it a 10 if you could?
If I weren't pretentious, I don't think I would give it a 10, but I think I'd give the second one a 10.
Okay, all right. I wonder how Richard feels about that.
I just like the fact that the second one had combat in it, so.
Yeah. I think Ori is a beautiful game. And again, we've had folks from the Ori randomizer community here. Still trying to persuade Richard to do a randomizer on here one day.
Mm-hmm. Like, I've also like kind of backtracking a little bit too. Like, I have a lot of friends in like the Kingdom Hearts community as well. Like, I mean, I'm a little more familiar with Kingdom Hearts because I mean, if you're stuck with Mr. Jeff Hobson over here, then you gotta know some of it, right? But
so is Hobbs a person of habit? Like, just knows what he likes in terms of gaming?
I would say so. So. I think he might be. He's a lot more willing to step out of his comfort zone than some people might realize. But otherwise, yeah, you can kind of tell, like, oh yeah, this is a Hobbs game.
Oh, very much so. I mean, I'm the same way. Like, I find something that I really like, and it's sometimes hard to get me to try something new. My partner frequently makes fun of me, but I'm like, I want to spend my time doing something I know I'm really going to like, so sometimes I resist trying new games.
Sure.
But then I'm like, I am going to play a new game tonight. The NES Championship thing's coming out, and I don't know if that counts, because I've played a lot of the games that are, though, in which the challenges are centered around, but it still looks like that's going to be a lot of fun.
I would count it. I would say that counts. Yeah. Why not?
But yeah, Archipelago is always undergoing new games too. So I know soon, like, there is some stuff in beta, like Diddy Kong Racing's eventually going to get added to it, which is one of my favorite. Oh yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because that's one of my favorite racing games. caught up on chat here. Because again, I love to read y'all's questions. If y'all have a question for myself or Keys, let us know. I promise you we don't bite. So again, we're about an hour in. So first off, how are you feeling? Do you need a break? How's the pupper doing?
Pupper is napping, so she's good. I'm good for whatever. If we want to encourage a wellness break, I'm totally down to do that right now.
Yeah, we can if you want to. It never hurts to get up and stretch.
Yeah, you know what? I think after I go through this dialogue, like I could give us a countdown and give everyone a chance to refill their. What's my usual hotfix spiel? Get up, stretch your legs, take a bio break, get some water.
Always good to do that. We encourage wellness here.
Like I have my water here, but I do want to I like getting up and like just walking up and down the stairs once or twice, get the blood flowing. You know. We are old. But go ahead and pause in 3, 2, 1, pause.
Yeah, I'll make sure I turn off my mic before I stand up too. You don't want to hear out, you know. Anyways, folks, if you have been enjoying GDQ Hotfix and you have been enjoying our show, I wanted to remind you all that your subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, and bits shared on the GDQ Twitch channel help support games done quick hotfix. If you enjoy watching speedruns and our content, consider subscribing to the channel. And again, Keys and I, we both provide content for this, so any help on that front is very much appreciated. And with that being said, I'm going to follow Keys' example. I'm going to get up and stretch and hydrate, and we'll be right back. Number Generation, I am joined here by Keys, who's running a Pokémon Crystal full item randomizer, while we have just a full-on chill discussion here. So again, chat, I want to thank y'all for participating. Keys, I want to thank you for being here. I've been having a great time.
I've been having a great time too, so much so that I didn't even realize over an hour had passed.
Yep, we had to take care of the pupper, which I hope makes an appearance at some point because I love the dog.
Yuki, come here. Say hi. Oh. Oh, puppy. Oh.
I have a slight delay on my end, so I'm just waiting to see Yuki.
We'll see her eventually. She's a pretty girl. Pretty girl. Do you want to learn speedrunning like?
Oh, that would be okay. So once we get back into it, like if you could teach Yuki a speed run, what a good dog.
I would like honestly. I'll answer it as soon as I count us back in.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
Start up again in 3, 2, 1, go. Honestly, I would love to find a way to like teach any dog, like not even necessarily Yuki, but teach a dog to do like a classic Super Mario level.
Oh, that's a really good idea. I think the one I could think of that might be done is maybe 4-1, because a lot of that's just running and jumping.
Yeah, that'd be so cool.
I would like that. I'd like to see one day. I mean, we would live in a world where possibly if we have multiple dogs that could do speedruns, I would love to see a dog race.
Yeah, that'd be so cool.
But you have to make sure that they're not all distracted by each other.
Oh, yeah.
They need like partitions or something like that.
Yeah, definitely.
I would love to see something like that, though. So is Yuki pretty responsive? Like, can she learn tricks? Would it be pretty okay to teach her with enough time?
She is very smart, but sometimes too smart. So like I could teach her something. Like she actually knows like a decent amount of advanced tricks, but she's kind of like a cat about it. It's like I don't really want to do it today. I know how to do it. I'm not doing it today. But then the next day it's like, oh yeah, I'll totally jump for that biscuit. Sure.
So it's a matter of getting her to be more consistent.
Yep. We got to get the consistency down. And I'm gonna be perfectly honest with everyone. I'm too much of a sucker. If the roles were reversed and Emre were still a full-time streamer and I was the one that got back in the workforce and she was the one like, home with the dog all the time, she'd probably honestly be better behaved. Like I'm willing to admit that. I don't let Yuki get away with like a ton of really bad stuff, obviously, but it's like I'm a lot less the word I'm looking for. Harsh isn't the right word.
This is perfect. We're talking about dogs, and you're letting the dogs out.
Yep.
Scripted.
What is it? Authoritative. Like I'm not as authoritative with dogs because I'm too into the. Oh my God, they're so cute. I want to pet them. Love me.
Oh, same. Yeah, I feel that. So you were talking about the many pets that you had earlier. I'm interested as to the story behind the little noodle that y'all have, the danger noodle.
Oh yeah. So we recently adopted a 12-year-old albino corn snake. His name is Monroe.
Okay.
So the deal is, anyone who doesn't know, Emre now works as a vet tech. Very, very happy with that. Really, really fulfilling job. Gets to work around animals all the time. But she just calls me up one day and is like, "Hey, remember when we were joking about getting a snake? Do you want to get one?" And I was like, "Sure. What's the catch?" There's this older lady that she's moving out of state, and because of all the equipment that you need to take care of a snake, like the tank and like the lights and everything, she didn't want to risk breaking anything.
Yeah.
So she was just like, it would just be easier to give it to someone who could keep an eye on him. So we just ended up with a snake because we really wanted a lizard, and here we are. And Monroe's so cool. He's got such a personality for a snake. Like
really.
Yeah, he loves exploring. He loves like if you have him like around your neck or something, like on your shoulders, like he'll just slither around everywhere and try to sneak into your shirt, try to like get through your sleeve and stuff, like just doing as much exploring as possible.
Oh.
Any time that Yuki sees the snake, they always boop snoots, and it's really, really cute.
Oh, that's adorable.
Our cat, our older cat anyway, now that we have two, our older cat doesn't really acknowledge that the snake's there. I don't think she actually knows we have a snake, to be honest. Oh, this randomizer's bad. Why does Morty have a Gengar? Ooh, rando.
I mean, that's always going to happen. There's always going to be something that the randomizer has in common with the base game. It happens a lot. Someone said in chat, those of you who don't watch Keys' stream, you'll never truly appreciate the collective confusion in chat when Keys got up and came back saying, Emery needed help with the snake.
Yeah, that's been an adjustment for me because I've always had, I don't want to say like basic, like they're not good animals or anything, obviously, but like I've always had like basic pets, like dogs and cats, like the pretty standard set of animals. But I've never had a lizard before, so this is actually like kind of a cool experience so far. But I guess slight content warning, I guess. But like, I mean, if you don't know what a snake's diet is, it is other like rats and mice and stuff. So like that's been an adjustment for me because I'm such a softie that I can't handle doing it myself. So Ray has to do it.
No, that's understandable. I actually think rats and mice are quite cute. I know I would have some difficulties with that for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I mean, I actually never seen pictures of your pets. I'm going to have to see like the cat and the snake and stuff like that. Like they're all so cute.
I'll have to send you some. I'll have to send you some for sure.
Well, cats now, right? You said today y'all are getting another cat?
Yep. Emre will be home probably in like 30 to 45 minutes, and we're just gonna have a snake there. Or not a snake, have a kitten there.
Oh, so it's a little one, just little tiny friend.
Oh, very tiny.
Aww. So
I'm excited though. I don't think I've ever actually had a kitten. Every single cat I've ever had has been at least like 2 or 3 years old.
Yeah, that's understandable. I mean, a lot of folks like to get their pets from shelters, and sometimes it's kind of rare to find them when they're tiny.
Definitely. Where do I want to go? I have a few options, and I'm trying to like parse where I want to go. The biggest things that we're missing right now are obviously badges, but I also still don't have surf.
Yeah, I noticed that. So you have the bicycle, which is great, and you have fly, also great. So again, like you said, those were pre-vetted. But now you're looking for surf, and again, as with most of the HMs, they're required to complete the game. So do you have any leads on where you think surf might be, or any ideas?
I don't really necessarily have an idea. So like you can have a like dynamic logic in these where it's like, oh, I just got cut, so my next progression is likely behind cut, but I usually have a more random logic. So my goal right now is go to any area that has a ton of possible checks. So like we're about to climb Tin Tower because there's like 12 or 13 items I can pick up. So we're just going for like the really like item dense areas right now.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense, and that's how you tend to eliminate areas. You're like, okay, where's it most likely to be? Where's the next likely place to be? We do that a lot within randomizers. So.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, Porygon 2.
Also, I'm very happy with this Ho-Oh. Not gonna lie. I wish I had like Drill Peck, but.
Well, I mean, you pretty much have everything else you could possibly want.
Well, listen, I'm a greedy little pig. Okay, I want my super moves.
So it's the person who had Aeroblast on the Lugia.
Yeah, I had Aeroblast Lugia. That wasn't good enough. I upgraded.
Well, to be fair, the stats on that Lugia were a little janky, especially for the beginning.
Oh yeah, it did not have awful. It was rough.
Speaking of jank, what is the jankiest Pokemon you've ever finished this particular randomizer with, and why?
I remember having to use a Magcargo once, which Magcargo as is already not a great Pokemon. I like the design, I like the concept, but it's a very forgettable Pokemon to the point where a lot of people, when they see Magcargo in one of these, they're like, oh, I thought it was Gen 3, not Gen 2. It's like, yeah, that's a pretty normal reaction. But I had to finish with a Magcargo before, and it was just misery.
You never realize how many moves a certain type of Pokemon has in a game until you're quad weak to it.
Oh yeah. There's nothing like getting hit by Water Gun and screaming in pain. Water Gun.
Bubble.
Yeah, imagine Bubble killing you. Ooh.
Oh, that's a good TM. That's quite good.
Oh yeah. I actually don't think I put it on the Ho-Oh right now, but maybe later if I get like a bad fight. The TMs for the most part have been pretty good so far. Like we got an Earthquake TM, we got a Rock Slide TM, we got Fire Punch.
Yeah, Stab Fire Punch is never a bad thing to have, even though you put Fire Punch on a bird.
Hey, it balls its wing up, okay? He's trying his best. You leave him alone.
Question from the chat. Have you thought of a name for the new kitten?
No. No, I have not. In fact, I'm taking a second to reply to Emre because they were like, do you want me to bring the kitten on stream when I get home? So I said yes.
Yay!
Congratulations, chat. You're going to meet the kitten at the same time as me.
Another question from the chat is the squirt bottle progression.
It can be. So we had a seed where I got the SS ticket and access to Kanto. So everything that you could reach with the squirt bottle, I was able to reach before I found the squirt bottle. It does give us one additional check now, though. But at this point in time, it's not progression. But if you get it early, then it is.
So is it like late game? It sounds like it's kind of a meme check.
Yeah, like it's not too far out of the way. And I'm probably going to do it anyway just because it isn't like the slowest thing in the world. But it's only one check. But, you know, it's you and me on a Hotfix show, so that check's probably going to be the check. So I either ignore it and feel bad or get it and it's useless. It's transformative in nature.
Let me see. Someone wanted to ask, what are your thoughts on, I believe this is a newer Pokemon, Wiglet?
Oh, yeah. Anyone who hasn't played Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, there's a... It's not technically a regional form, but I mean, it's a regional form. Let's be real.
It is.
It's basically like a really elongated white Diglett. And it's so silly looking. My opinion is it's silly looking.
That's a good one.
Wiglet and Wug Trio are sure a thing.
Ask Keys how Keys feels about Tangela.
Oh, the good old Wiggly Woo.
Wiggly Woo.
Perfect Pokemon. Nothing wrong at all. 10 out of 10. Would always recommend.
I'm surprised you didn't name your snake Wiggly Woo.
Well, you see, I kind of wanted to, but he already had a name, so I was like, I'll respect the name.
Aw, dang. So what is the name then?
For the snake?
Yeah.
Yeah, Monroe.
That is very different from like the rest of the pack.
Yeah. Yeah, we got Yuki, we got Boxy, we got Monroe.
It's like there's always one that stands out.
I don't know why the previous owner named him Monroe, but you know, he kind of responds when I say his name, so I'm not taking it away.
No, absolutely not. And you said the snake was 12 in terms of like age, yeah.
Yep, 12 years old. He is he's in the speedrun retirement home with the rest of us.
Ask Keys to give tips for running a Pokemon Crystal Rando. So what do you recommend to someone who's never run Pokemon Crystal Rando then?
If you've never done a randomizer in general, what I would recommend is I would actually like play a non-randomized game, non-randomized run of it, just to get re-familiar and reacclimated with the game. And then once you start picking up randomizers, just do some more simple things. Like you can randomize so many different aspects. You can make it so the move sets are random, like what I have right now, or you can keep it vanilla, so you don't have to like overthink and have to worry about, oh, if I run into this Mewtwo, it could have Thunderbolt against my Gyarados or something. So I would definitely recommend considering lower settings at first, just to kind of get used to it. When you want to get to more like advanced randomizer stuff, like you get to like your item randomizers and whatnot, those also have a plethora of options to a degree to where it might feel really, really overwhelming because there's so much you can do. But kind of same thing, like just kind of slowly ease your way into it. Like with full item rando, there's actually like a much easier variance to what I'm doing. There's key item rando, which is just key items. Like it's every item on the ground will be the same. Otherwise, you can make it so badges are just shuffled within gyms, so you don't have to worry about, you know, knowing the location of every item to find your badges. Like there's just a lot of ways to kind of ease yourself into it. But that is definitely what I would recommend, is just kind of a slow and steady approach to it.
That's very good advice. Pretty much across the board for randomizers, but especially for Pokemon, where just everything can feel overwhelming, especially the further you get into the generations and the more nuanced things become. It's really good. The next thing out, first of all, T-Pat says hi.
Hi, T-Pat. That's my weatherman.
The second question, and then this is getting back to the discussion on your pets as far as the snake is, what is the life expectancy of the corn snake, if you know?
That is a good question. Next question. Well, let me just pull up Google real quick.
Yeah,
I actually don't know.
I don't think we've gotten to the Gyarados yet. So soon, TM. Someone was asking what was the Gyarados.
Lifespan domesticated corn snake.
Here we go. Random content. Here you go, chat.
It says 6 to 8 years in the wild, and it's very clearly not in the wild. Are you
No.
Up to 24 years in human care. There we go.
Wow. That's impressive.
That's a lot longer than I thought. Not that that's a bad thing. That's just a lot longer than I thought.
Someone asked, what was the Gyarados? I don't think we've gotten there yet. I mean, we were there, but I don't know if we...
Yeah, I still
can't
don't
surf.
have surf.
Yeah, we can't surf yet. That's what it was.
We do not know yet. We will eventually. Hopefully. I'm trying to... can you even beat this? That you can have a surfless seed. It's so unlikely, but you can have a surfless seed. So it would be incredibly funny if my first surfless seed ever was today.
So we're on the ice path right now. Who had issues with the ice path their first time? I know I did. I'm really bad with puzzles.
Oh, I sucked at this because the ice puzzle in Gold and Silver is different from the ice puzzle in Crystal. So because I had Silver version before I had Crystal version, when I got here in Crystal, I was just like, where the heck am I? What direction do I go? I'm terrible at ice puzzles, just in general, in any game. I don't know what it is. My brain just does not like ice puzzles.
Oh, neither do I. Or the strength puzzles, and this has everything in it.
Oh yeah. They have so much in here.
So someone asked, does Keys have a grass type? I believe the way these seeds work is Keys will primarily only use one Pokemon. It's almost like the kind of Ironmon route, if you're familiar with Paizo Ironmon, where just everything revolves around that one Pokemon. And no, Keys' main Pokemon is not a grass type. It is Ho-Oh.
Yeah, so the big thing about what I would suspect the reason why that was asked is in Emerald Archipelago, there is a check like where you talk to a trainer and she'll give you an item if you have a grass Pokemon.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
I think that's the only instance in older generations of games where that's something you can do. Other than like showing Bill's grandpa certain Pokemon to get like evolution stones or something, I think.
Yeah, like in the original game, I guess the equivalent would that be of how many Pokemon did you catch? Have a thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like the professor aids that give you stuff. Yeah. And there's so many good like money items I'm finding, but my bag is full.
Oh, see, that would be one of my weaknesses in Pokemon randomizers is I always have to organize my bag. Like, it's just a thing that I do, and that would take up so much time.
Oh, yeah. I've definitely done that before myself. In fact, like the start of this, I was spending a lot more time organizing, but now I'm kind of just at the point where it's like, nah, I don't need to. I want to. Oh God, do I want to, but I don't need to.
Yeah, I definitely do not like having in Pokemon games like full bags of any kind.
Mm-hmm. Like I'm gonna lose time selling a bunch of stuff right now, but I mean, if this shop has like rare candies, then I'm set for life.
Oh, yeah. And that's one of the nice things about the rando. I like the idea of being able to get a rare candy at any point.
Mm-hmm.
No. Not yet.
You know what? Actually, this is just free money. I'm going to get this amulet coin and equip it.
I do like free money.
It's my money and I want it now.
You don't want leftovers? I guess you don't really need them till Elite Four.
Yeah, I don't need them for a while, so we're good. I don't think I taught Flash. I usually don't teach Flash because I just know these areas well, but usually for the sake of stream, I'll just do it so people don't see a black screen for like 2 minutes.
That's
what am I doing? I don't even have surf. What am I doing?
I was going to say, wait, isn't there water in this?
There sure is. You know what? Go me.
Good job, Keys.
Good job, me. I've never gone this long without surf. I'm so thrown off right now.
Oh, no. Did we have it? That's never happened before.
Yeah, for me? Yeah. It's never taken this long.
It's the thing.
The thing had to happen. Well, welcome to the Games Done Quick stream, folks.
It's always something, I'm telling y'all.
you gotta put in the Leonardo DiCaprio meme where he's pointing like when he's in his chair, like that's the thing.
No, I was thinking of well, there it is.
Yeah.
So that is the big thing we're looking for right now. We're looking for surf. Hopefully Keys isn't running out of places to like. I mean, it's a big game, right? Like I would be surprised.
There's still plenty of areas left. Like we can definitely, like we're not in trouble yet.
Yet.
Yeah. The key word yet. We're rapidly approaching that, but we're not.
Oh, don't say that. Don't say that. No. Oh, by the way, save check. I should have asked you at the break.
Here we go. Save.
Hooray! There you go. Good job. I get so nervous, Keys. I hope you don't mind. It's more of a me thing.
It is fine. I would rather be reminded than not.
Yeah, that's a regular thing I've been doing on my shows now, where it's like, please save. Like, even if you don't think you need to, just for my sake, please save.
Yeah. I get it entirely.
I mean, there's no worse feeling in a randomizer where when you go to load a save, like, let's say you need to reset for some reason, you soft lock, or something happens that you don't like, and then it's not there.
Mm-hmm.
And then you don't get a resolution. It's not a nice feeling. So if you're listening to this,
the amount of times I've lost a run because I didn't save. I do have a tracker up, obviously. I kind of got lost in the sauce of talking, so I'm like backtracking and double checking a couple of spots.
Dang, I'm a bad influence.
No, this would happen on my stream anyway. Okay, good.
And again, by the way, folks, for folks tuning in, because it's on the other side of the brick, please do follow Keys. That is at twitch.tv/KeysRun. If you're watching on YouTube and you cannot see our Twitch chat, that is KEIZARON. And again, Keys streams most days. Keys is a full-time streamer, so please give Keys all the support. Just a fantastic streamer and friend.
I don't know why I punched the Meryl.
Why did you punch the cute bunny?
It wasn't on purpose.
You punched a cute defenseless
I would also be lying if I
mouse.
said that it was on accident.
That was so cute. No, we don't.
It was on purpose, didn't.
We don't punch cute things on this stream.
I'm sorry.
Oh, poor Meryl.
Well, this is where the run goes completely off the rails.
Uh-oh.
That's gonna be karma.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's bad luck.
Yeah, Surf is gonna move to somewhere, and I'm gonna be sad.
Okay.
A dynamic game.
It wasn't the bunny. Technically, I call.
Surf. Thank God.
Wait, it was for sale this whole time?
I'm a genius.
You are.
I could have gotten here a lot earlier, but I'm a genius.
Yeah, Meryl I see as a bunny and or a mouse. Like, Azurill is very almost like bunny adjacent, we'll call it. But yeah, Meryl's closer probably to a mouse.
I agree with all of this.
Oh yeah, you did set the mouse on fire. That's true, chat. This poor baby.
Oops. Clumsy me. Oopsie.
No. Well, I guess you can go back and surf now and all that. We could go check out the Red Gyarados at some point.
We can. Which I'm actually going to do that in like a couple of minutes. So anyone who really, really wants to see what the shiny is. Soon TM.
I like how the randomizer does randomize that. It's really sweet because, you see the Gyarados all the time. Like, it's cool shiny, but it's nice to mix it up.
It's also nice because, like, sometimes that's the only way you see a shiny.
Yeah.
So it's like you get to see something that, like, you've never seen before a lot of times. I mean, I guess, like, you could always just Google an image, I guess, but that's less fun.
Also, hi, Jiggy.
Hi, Jiggy.
I swear it wasn't playing that Keys was supposed to play Crystal twice. For the record, I asked Keys before GDQ.
Look, I haven't played Crystal on my own in a while. This is my excuse to pick it up.
So where else are you playing Crystal? Did it already happen besides RNG?
No. So this Saturday there's a big Pokémon Hotfix event.
Oh, very cool.
I will be there doing a randomizer Cinco bingo.
All right, so y'all better go support Keys during that then. That sounds like a good time.
Bingos are a ton of fun. I'm super excited to show it off. I've done it a few times. This is a terrible Pokemon.
What? Are you kidding me? This is because you defeated the Meryl. I'm blaming this on the
there
Meryl.
You go. I punched him too. Take that.
Okay, you didn't have to do that.
Well, no.
Was that necessary?
No, it wasn't. But I sure did. Look, he probably deserved it, okay?
You just deleted that Metapod. What a bully.
He had generations of family that just disapparated.
That's so sad.
That poor thing.
No. Dang, this This just keeps getting sadder and sadder. First the Meryl and now the Metapod.
Thanks everyone for tuning in for the last time that Keyzeron is ever on a Skybill show.
I mean, it wasn't an otter or a Rax, so that's fine. But you know,
I'll keep that in mind. I know what to avoid.
It wouldn't be me if I wasn't being sad over some defenseless critter getting punched. All right.
That poor thing.
Oh.
Got a family. Okay, now we can go here. Now I can not look silly. There we go. Look, there's water.
So
look,
Keys,
there's surf.
Are you just looking for badges now?
Yeah. I mean, there's a chance that something that I need is locked behind Whirlpool, but it's not necessarily a guarantee.
Yeah.
I'm still kind of just doing the shotgun approach of going through areas with, 3+ checks that don't take too long.
Yeah.
So hopefully we find the badges.
I miss the Lapras sprite for surfing. That one's really cute. The one in, what is it, Fire Red Leaf Green, it's just like an undefined Pokemon. Maybe there could be a case that would be a Snorlax, but it's really hard to see.
I meant to grab that item and I totally whiffed. Don't mind me.
What? I didn't see anything.
Yeah, didn't see anything, you say? Yeah, look, it's so dark. Oh, no, I sure hope I can. Oh, no. Ah, heck. It sure would be a shame if I couldn't see. Oh, no. Oh, dear.
How excited am I for the Bloomburrow set? I'm very excited. Because did you know the next Magic the Gathering set has critters?
I did not know that, but it doesn't surprise me that you know that.
My poor wallet is going to be in pain after that set. There's otters and rats and possums and mice and honey badgers.
No. Oh, no. It's over.
Yeah.
It's over for you.
My poor wallet.
Goodbye, money. Hello, critters, but goodbye, money.
And guess what? Teferi Time Raveler is back as like a special guest. He's not in standard. It's just a special guest, like a collectible. And he's a bird because, of course, birds in games. Am I right?
A bird?
Yeah, he's a bird. Keys loves that card.
I sure am a Teferi stan. People don't like me. I understand.
That was a memory.
Oh, man.
That feels like forever ago now.
I made a couple of new friends recently who used to play Magic, and they were talking about getting back into it. I told them I used to play Magic.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, what kind of decks would you run? And I told them what I would run.
Yeah.
I'd be like, yeah, I'm an Esper and Demir boy, and they're like, so we're not playing with you.
Yeah, I have 2 commander decks I'm never allowed to play unless it's competitive, which is sad. No one wants to play against my rogue deck that like literally steals all of my opponent's cards from their side of the battlefield. And no one ever wants to play.
Those aren't your toys, they're my toys.
No one ever wants to play with my sliver deck either.
Oh, you have a sliver deck? Those are so fun.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are, but no one ever wants me to play it. I'll become public enemy number 1 at the multiplayer table, you know?
No. See, what you do is like you make a challenge out of it, right? It's like $5 buy-in. If you win the pot if you beat me.
Oh no! We actually used to do that, but with booster packs. Like, if you took somebody out, you got a booster pack. Yeah, I've seen some stores do that before. It's kind of neat. Oh yeah. No one ever wants to play against my Demir deck because the minute something hits the board, like I play a card and steal it. I'm just like, it's mine for the remainder of the game now.
Those are my kinds of decks. Why bother playing game when I can steal your game and play it?
Yeah, I was talking about this the other day on my stream, and I was like, I don't know how to make a commander deck that's like quote unquote nice. I always, even if I think it's nice, I end up playing stuff in sequence, and I'm like, oh, that turns out that's not very nice, is it?
Do it anyway. No mercy.
Yeah, Keys is quite the card player from it still would be too, if you played. But yeah, I still like Arena for playing cards because easier to get your hands on stuff.
Mm-hmm. Arena just, I mean, you could always make proxies, I guess, but like Arena, like it feels better for me than using proxies because like I still feel like I can experiment a lot more than with just like regular cards. And then also, I don't know, it might just be like being a little pretentious, but I don't like using proxies. I just like using what I have.
I like the artwork, like just the beautiful artwork in the game. But, Chat, this shouldn't be a surprise to you that this is the kind of stuff that me and Keys like to use / play. I mean, we play Forbidden Memories. We speedrun FM. Like, that shouldn't be any surprise whatsoever. And yes, we do get it back, karma-wise.
And I still remember when Tethys was in Standard, and you can make that, like, that 4-color... basically play solitaire until you win.
There was a deck like that. I mean, it's about to rotate out, but there was a deck that was kind of like that in Standard. Kind of.
Okay.
Because they extended Standard by another year, so now it's a 3-year rotation instead of 2. So
interesting.
That made things kind of more combo-y.
Yeah, I remember I got into doing the Kethis combo like the last couple of months that you were able to do it, and it was genuinely probably my easiest mythic ever.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I want to be here.
Aw, but I like looking at the Lapras sprite.
All right, we're here now. We're fighting Blaine.
Now, chat, if you haven't seen Pokémon Crystal, you might be surprised in which the context we see Blaine.
Look at his little room. That's horrible. At least in Heart Gold, he has like a full-fledged like dungeon cave.
Yeah, I'll never forget when I saw that. I'm like, Blaine, are you doing okay over here?
you good, buddy?
Oh, I think Keys actually used to play Nexus of Fate.
Yes. Yes.
And then I used to cry a lot.
Yes. I know what I'm about when it comes to these games, okay?
Yeah. Also, thank you for taking care of Ditto. Ditto has cost me, believe it or not, some Ironmon runs. I had a really good Gengar, and then the Ditto used Shadow Ball, and then I was very sad for a while. He critted me. So since then...
Cool.
Ever since then, I have not liked Ditto.
Wait, I don't have the card key. Oops. Silly me. I don't want to be here yet. This is a huge waste of time.
Hey, look, it's your Pokemon. Well, it was.
It was. A worthy fire punch, I would say. All's well that ends well, for me.
Again, another mon that just got deleted.
Deserved. The most deserved deletion ever. I can... No, I'd have to fight a bunch of... Oh, here, I can get some checks here. Yeah, again, folks, I'm just at the point right now where it's like there isn't really much in terms of like direction of where to go. I'm just going to areas that I can knock out several checks at once.
He's lost a run at champion to a steel extra. Oh, I remember that. That transformed into a Snorlax. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that Snorlax was so busted, and then it transformed into me, and even though I had a dire hit, I couldn't get one crit.
But I think I remember that Ironmon run.
It was such a good run. I was excited because I was like, I think I can beat this before 1,000 attempts, and then I lost, and then 2,000 attempts later, it's like, oh hey, I finally won.
Yeah, me and Keys are both Kaiser champions. Keys had a Tentacruel, and I had a Melodic.
Hey, look, I'm wearing the shirt with the Tentacruel that I won with.
Oh yeah, I just noticed that.
Yeah, the Tentacruel that I got for that run was absurd. It had pickup, and the pickup item pool was actually like dummy thick.
Oh, so you're the reason why pickup's banned in Super Kaizo.
I genuinely think that I contributed to pickup getting banned because I had lemonades were the most common item. There was also, I think I could get like a full restore, and rare candies were also something I could pick up. So I was actually really high level when I got the champion. Like I think I was like level 96 or something like that. So oops, my bad.
No, it isn't your bad. I mean, that was the system you had to work with.
I'll take my W and run away now. Thanks.
Yeah, I got through about, 500 runs of Super Kaizo, and I'm like, I need a break. I don't want this to turn into thousands of runs again.
I want to try Super Kaizo at some point. I just haven't had the time.
You know what the main gimmick with it is, yeah?
Yeah, sure do. God bless Safari Zone.
I think I could get to Safari with enough time, but I don't know if I could turn it around from there.
Yeah. Oops, I meant to flash, not dig. Silly me.
And those are two different things, Keys.
Oh, see, look, it's the top option on one of my Pokemon. I just picked the wrong Pokemon.
Oh, I see.
Okay, that's a strong move, but terrible coverage. We're not going to worry about that. That's a good item.
Again,
That's
we're
a good item.
looking for badges.
There we go.
See?
A badge. Let's go.
All right, good commentator curse. Finally, we get a good one.
Okay, if I get Whirlpool, then there's a lot of areas that are open. Well, not a lot. It's just Whirl Island, but that's a lot of checks. So that is there, I suppose.
Do you know where to find Whirlpool? Like, is it in a store or?
No clue.
Okay, that's fun.
No clue at all. We'll get there one day.
All right, so how many badges are you missing? I'm looking at your tracker.
1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 7.
That's a lot, given how late-ish in the seed this is.
Yeah, but I'm guessing that like a lot of them are going to be like pretty grouped up.
Yeah, that makes sense.
A revive. Oh man, I was hoping that I would get blessed at this shop.
You thought that they would just be selling badges? Is that what's going on here?
Yeah. I was, hey, welcome to my medicine shop. Here's my badge. Okay, just so I can make some progression, but also stew in my think tank for a little bit, I'm going to knock out this gym because I'm here.
Yeah.
It's a few fights, but I'll get 3 checks out of it, so it's not like the worst thing.
Only Ash Ketchum is allowed to get badges without earning them properly.
What a cheater.
I think there's even like a joke later in the anime where he says like, yeah, I probably didn't earn some of those.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there is.
And now you look at like, the current Pokemon before it flipped over to this newer one, and it's like, wait, when did Ash get all these busted Pokemon?
Where can I go? Staring at the tracker right now. Don't mind me, folks.
By Alakazam.
There's still a lot. There's still a lot of stuff I could do because I have Surf. So I really shouldn't be doing this. I should be going instead.
It's right here. So, see that little strength puzzle? I would have messed that up if I didn't remember that.
So I used to do a lot of Spinner Hell randomizers, which if anyone doesn't know what Spinner Hell is, every trainer is a spinner and they have maximum vision. So it leads to really hilarious things, like they'll walk through a wall just to fight you. I did so many of those in a row that I got used to doing this puzzle a little differently because you could just push the middle boulder and then pull the other guy out.
Yeah.
So when I tried to de-rust an actual vanilla speedrun of this before, I kept messing up the boulder. It felt so bad.
Yeah. Sometimes the simplest things in games is the easiest thing to mess up. Wait, Chuck had a Hitmontop?
Terrible rando. Okay. Okay.
All right.
Hey, look at that.
All right. There you go.
Required.
There
you go. The think tank paid off. Unbelievable. Well. All right, let's go do the surf stuff that I was talking about.
I bet you
There's
is
still
some
a decent amount.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Whirl Islands would be my guess once you get the Whirlpool.
Yeah, like a place like Whirl Islands is like a really good example of just like high density checks for little time.
Again, as a reminder, folks, please follow Keys if you are not doing so already. I guarantee you it is a good time on stream.
Oh, hey.
Oh, there it is. I'm just going to keep talking about stuff.
All
you seem
right,
to find
let's go. Let's go. That's so... The backwards commentator curse. I need this in my life more often.
Yeah, where's this coming from? You know,
yeah,
usually
this is
people
so
blame
good.
me.
Incredible.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Fire Blast would be good if I didn't have Fire Punch already. And since I'm so high level, I'd rather the accuracy over the damage.
Yeah.
We are a level 100 after all.
Sometimes I feel like against Red, that level 100 never seems to be enough against, 6 Pokemon.
Yeah, like sometimes like his team is just really, really good. Or like the worst part is when his team isn't good, but they're tanky.
All you have to do is avoid rock Pokemon, or rock moves.
Oh, I'm sure I won't.
Oh, don't say... There's not that many rock moves in this game, though, no?
That's true.
There's what? Rock Throw, Rock Slide, Ancient Power?
Yeah, Rock Throw, Rock Slide, Ancient Power. That might actually on.
Yeah. I mean, what are the odds?
Well, I'm currently on your show, so I would guess high.
This has been going too well.
Yeah, there's got to be something. There's got to be some sort of hiccup. If I remember, there were no, it's not this. It's
joke.
Azalea Mark.
The last time, the second to last time Keys was on Mercy Kill and was nice enough to play Animorphs for me. I thought you nailed it. I thought it was actually a really good run.
Where in the... Oh, no, it's literally on the top. Okay, I was about to say, where are my repels at?
They're right there.
Wait, my inventory full? Oops. Ah, inventory management. I don't miss this. Might as well just sell everything.
Wait, did that just say done button?
Yeah, it shows your stats.
Oh.
Like
I'd never seen that before.
Yeah, it's part of the mod.
Gotcha.
I can literally pull it up and show you real quick. Like it just shows like all the stats and stuff. Oh, you know
nice.
what? Oh, that Lugia was garbage. I knew it. I knew it. Ah, what a loser.
I don't
Terrible.
appreciate that. I love Lugia, come on.
I love Lugia too, but that was horrendous to look at. What a bozo. Now I extra don't feel bad for swapping. 4 attack, 5 special. What is that? Weenie Hut Jr. All right, well, we do have Whirl access, and I think Whirl is like 15 something.
Oh, yeah, I could see multiple badges being there.
Mm-hmm. Also, I forgot to put my repel up. Oops.
I see the spinners aren't super fast. They're kind of fast, but they're not, like, unreasonable.
Yeah, they're very manageable. Like it's nice having that option because it does suck just getting hit by a trainer for no reason. All right, you know what? For the people, since I have the Silver Wing, there's an item over here anyway, but let's just see what the Lugia is, just for funsies.
I like the fact, responding to that question in audience, that rare candies can be in shops, because again, this goes back to what we were talking about before. What makes the randomizer more interesting? What makes it less interesting? I don't think the randomizer becomes more interesting if you have to grind, right? So that's why I like the rare candies being available in shops, possibly.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Okay.
Oh. That's,
Take that.
That's, you didn't have to, Keys! You didn't that? Oh, poor dog. That is another thing. You have killed 3 innocent Pokemon.
Were they innocent? Were they really?
They could have just chilled. You could have run away and oh, nice. You could have just chilled, you know?
I could have, but that's less funny.
These
I'm
poor
a monster.
critters. These
I'm
poor
a monster.
critters. Oh my goodness. Why? If that would have been a Dratini, I may have had to put down my mic for a second because...
Oh, no.
That's my Pokemon. I love the Dratini, Dragonair, Dragonite line.
They are a really awesome line.
Yeah. Even though Dragonite looks nothing like Dratini and Dragonair.
Oh, Dragonite's so funny. Just a Dragonite. Hey, I'm here.
Yes.
How's it going?
Yeah, but if you ever seen a Dragonite in the anime, they do not take you-know-what from nobody.
Oh, yeah, no, they are. Oh, my gosh. they are ready.
I think one of the games, Lance has a Dragonite, like, in roleplay, and Dragonite just, like, you know, blows up Team Rocket.
I believe
it. Get him.
Wasn't there, like, an episode of the anime where there's, like, a super giant Dragonite?
Yeah.
It was like taller than like a lighthouse or something ridiculous.
Yeah, that was like the Monster Island or something like that.
Yeah.
You always name your Dratini Noodles? Aw, that's a cute name for a Dratini. Yeah, if Keys had destroyed a Zigzagoon, I may have been very upset.
Thank goodness there are none in this game.
No, they exist.
Too tempted. Oh, man.
If you run into them with the Elite Four, that's one thing. But if it's just in the wild and you just go around on a, then I get upset.
Just a light murderous rampage, no big deal.
No.
No. Okay, so I'm gonna check this item up here, and now I can go through the radio tower. So I don't really want to, but we're starting to run out of areas, and having Claire's gym open is a nice thing because that means we can go to Dragon's Den and get a few items, and the hard requirement for that is clearing this.
By the way,
I might as well.
I love the Dragon's Den music.
It goes so hard.
That and the Victory Road music as well. They're just both so good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
okay, look,
no,
this one's not my fault. This one's not my fault.
It's not your fault, but the poor noodle.
The commentator's anti-curse strikes again.
No, poor noodle.
It was never supposed to be like this.
No, but I can forgive you because that's like you have to get past that. It's not like a wild one, but still, poor noodle. Oh, and now
poor
a Pikachu.
Oh my god. It would be a shame if it got earthquaked.
Oh.
Oh,
no!
come on! What?
This is not fair! This is not fair! Ah, that hurts.
Team Rocket are the bad guys.
That hurts. That was.
They're like, hey, what Pokemon do Sky like? That'll be our entire setup.
Poor
That's
Dragonite.
That's rough.
I'm so sad. I'm not mad. I'm just sad.
See, I like Zapdos. I'm sad about that one. It's only happened once so far, though, instead of like the 30 times for you.
Yeah. Zapdos is cool. I like Zapdos a lot.
I really aesthetically like Articuno the most out of the 3. I just wish it were better. Like, it's good in Gen 1, but then afterwards, it's like it doesn't really have proper offense, so it's kind of hard to use.
Oh, and a doggy, too.
These guys are monsters.
They are.
This is wild. The chances of all this. How do they have so many cute things?
Yeah. So let's see. It sounds like you still have quite a few tracks though here between here and Blackthorn.
Yeah, there's definitely still some stuff we can do. I don't want to do Claire So I'm unlocking her, but I'm gonna like put her off for a little bit. I don't know. Why did I switch to
that
Rock Slide?
Goldane looked angry.
That Goldane's very mad that I earthquaked the Pikachu.
That was a very angry looking fish.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It was not happy with us.
Aww. Little ice piggy.
Little pig.
No.
Little pig.
These gens have too many cute mons. They have too many cute Pokemon. And then I look at the current gen of Pokemon and it's like, a wind chime?
Mm-hmm. Hey, there's sentient peppers now.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm just like, wow, Pokemon sure has changed.
There's like a building that looks like a dragon or something. A dragon that looks like a building.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Ralladon.
You played Rogue, didn't you?
I tried it for like an hour and I didn't have enough time to play more of it.
It's fun. I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm. I've lurked in a few streams. It does look like a lot of fun. I think I forgot to check the Mart and Equity.
That feels like so long ago.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go there and hope that I did, and I'm just wasting a little bit of time and hope that there isn't something there. If there's something there, then I'm gonna feel like a dummy.
Chat, listen, Gen 3 still feels new to me, okay? You don't know how many times I've played Pokemon Rogue and I'm like, wait, who is that? What is that?
Our bones creak, chat. Give us a break.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out fairy weaknesses and resistances, okay? It's still taking me a hot minute.
Yeah, honestly, that one's fair. So let's double check if I did the Mart. Because if I did, then whatever. If I didn't, then that's a lot of possible checks that I ignored. I don't remember going over here.
Listen, if I tell myself 20 years ago...
I'm an idiot.
No, you're not. If I tell myself 20 years ago was recent, I feel better, okay? Okay?
I agree with this. Every time I hear that a game is like in its 20s now or something, I'm just like, oh no.
Yeah, it's like if, GDQ likes, especially Hotfix, likes to do all these different specials, right? If there's like an anniversary of some kind, it's really cool stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And then you think about like when that game came out, like it takes me to a place.
Oh yeah. All right, so this Mart gets a second Mart after you clear the. All right, this is happening. All right, that's just a light, violent crime going on. No big deal.
It's Lance. Lance's supposed to be good, right?
Sure.
All right, maybe not to some folks. I can see that.
Okay, so Waterstone lets me check some stuff. I can come back here if we need more checks because there's still the entire Rocket hideout I could check.
Oh my gosh.
We did just get the Waterstone, which gives us.
Mario 64 is turning 30 in a couple years.
30?
30.
Like 30?
Yeah. In 2026, it'll be 30 years old.
No.
I'm not ready for that. I got to tell off that one later.
No. Oh my God. We're dirt.
Yeah, we are.
We were born during the literal invention of video games.
And the internet.
Oh my God. Did you ever use Ask Jeeves?
Yes.
Like, yeah, before Google. It was always Yahoo and Ask Jeeves.
You ever pick up a phone and you heard Get off the phone. I want to get on the internet.
My favorite is when my mom wanted to gossip with her friends while I was doing research for school, so I would just lose internet and be very, very angry about it. Okay, good find. Now I can use Waterfall. Okay, so we only need 3 more badges, so that's not bad. It's not bad at all. I can waterfall now, so I can go back to Mortar, and there's a lot of items I can get. So this is everything's coming up keys right now.
You remember those discs that used to come in the mail for AOL?
The AOL discs? Oh yeah, oh yeah. I was the kid that would like put them on strings and like hang them up on my ceiling as like decoration. I know what I'm about. Oh, I never taught waterfall.
Were you there when I played Oregon Trail for SGDQ like almost 10 years ago?
I remember watching it.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's going to be 10 years ago in summer next year. Back before Spike had salt and pepper hair in his beard.
Back when my wrists didn't creak.
No.
Like, I'm not as skinny as I used to be anymore either. I used to be a stick. Now it looks like I have like a beer belly if I sit a certain way. Like,
you got a second landline so you can be online. That was fortunate of y'all.
That's smart.
Why didn't I think of that one?
That's so clever.
Remember when game magazines came with demo discs? I remember when a Smash Brothers CD came with one of my Nintendo Powers. That is all just a bunch of...
I used to get like a PlayStation magazine.
Yeah?
Like back in the PlayStation 1 era. And like it had like a demo disc that had like the first couple of levels of like Tomb Raider and all this stuff. You could play like a decent amount of demos. Like it was really cool. And I remember that I think it was called PlayStation Underground. I think that's what it was called. But the disc I had was actually genuinely one of my first interactions with speedrunning.
Yeah.
Because there were a couple like video guides that showed like, oh yeah, like you can skip this entire area of Tomb Raider if you do this, or oh yeah, like there's such a thing as platinum relics in Crash Bandicoot, and this is how you get them, and like it's like a really actually like good and clean run of one of the levels.
I once had a VHS sent to me in the mail, and it was a promo for Star Fox 64.
Oh my god, I remember that. I hate that I remember that.
You know which one I'm talking about? I think like Banjo-Tooie was on there too.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, I just felt my back tweak itself a little bit. Oh no. Oh, this is terrible.
Hey, OG Roller Coaster Tycoon is still good. That game's actually aged really well, chat. Would recommend still.
Mm-hmm. I love when there's old games that like you used to play that are still like worth your time.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, I love classic RCT.
Okay, so we have a check here. It'll unlock another check too, I think. Wait, no, it won't unlock another check. But we are 2 badges away. Like I'm just kind of following the sequence of events here, and it's kind of working out. But now my sequence is empty. So let's.
Yeah, we didn't really have like quote unquote like direct events to find out when new games were coming out. You kind of just went to the store and you saw a poster. And
yeah, like you'd see some sort of advertisement.
Yeah.
Very rarely you get like a commercial. I remember when
sometimes
friggin' Crash Bandicoot had like a crossover with Pizza Hut.
Oh yeah, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Oh man. The giant Crash Bandicoot costume that was worn.
What was the first game we ever played? Mine was probably Super Mario Brothers 3, followed by Castlevania 3.
My first game that I ever played, and I'm going to use play lightly because I was sitting on my dad's lap, and I would use the mouse and he would use the keyboard, and I was like not even 1 year old yet, but the Wolfenstein 3D and Spirit of Destiny games.
Had that. I had Wolfenstein on DOS, yeah.
Yeah, good old DOS. I'll never forget, if I wanted to play my game, command prompt CD ... CD Wolf 3D, and then there you go. Oh, man.
Oh, did you, Chad was saying something about, did you mark the Thunder badge on the tracker?
I sure did not. Thank you for pointing.
Okay. Well, thanks to Chad for pointing that out, too. Just
Thank you, Chad.
Yep. So now we're just looking for the Earth badge?
Looking for Earth and Mineral.
Mineral, that's right.
Unfortunately, Mineral is gray, so it's sometimes really hard to tell if it's marked or not. Same with the Boulder badge.
Yeah, there was also
Just two
Nintendo
badges.
Power. That was a good way to find out about new releases.
Mm-hmm. I remember back when GameStop was actually more focused on games than merch. Like
Wasn't
they
it
had
like it was EB Games back then? I think.
I think it was EB Games in Canada, and I think it was separate in the States. Because I remember at least the mall that's like 5 minutes from where I live right now. Like I used to go there as a kid all the time, and I remember like the second floor had a GameStop, and the first floor had an EB Games, or other way. I can't remember.
Oh, I forgot to. I should have mentioned this in the pre-show. So I saw a sprite in a video game I have literally not seen since I was a kid. My friend Liz Star, again, you all may know Liz, was playing Word Munchers the other day on stream, and I'm like, I have literally not seen the little froggy sprite with the mouth and the two eyes since I was a kid. I'm like, oh my gosh.
That's damn.
But that's all the sprite was. It was just like kind of something that resembled a frog's face with two legs on it.
Yeah. I remember.
It wasn't even like a soundtrack. It was just a bunch of beep boop noises.
Yeah. Oh, man.
You still have EB Games in New Zealand and Australia. I haven't seen an EB Games in a very long time because I think GameStop bought them out. Now, it wouldn't surprise me if I saw EB Games Workies because I lived close to the Canadian border. Granted, I was on the U.S. side, but I grew up very close to Canada, so that wouldn't surprise me if that was somehow related.
Yeah, like I'm in Washington State. I mean, like I could if I reach up high enough, I can reach Canada. So
Yeah.
So that might be why I also saw EB Games.
Yeah, that's where I actually got my lime Game Boy Color from. Like, I got that for a birthday at EB Games.
Nice.
Like, I got to pick that out, yeah. I still have that, too. I even still have the box.
I have the gray, like, old Game Boy.
Oh, the brick.
Yeah, the brick where it's green. That sickly green for the screen instead of black and white. Oh, my goodness.
I could not read that screen. Yo, nice mineral badge.
All right, we're missing one. What do I... Okay, if Shop Sanity weren't one of my options, this would actually be a terrible, terrible, terrible decision. But because I have Shop Sanity on, that means that the souvenir shop at Mount Moon has items. So we're gonna go there.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Yeah.
If my last badge is there, then I just look like a cheater. If it isn't there, I won't be surprised. And I gain absolutely nothing from this because I'm level 100. I'm not even getting experience anymore.
This is, I would say, this was one of the mean rivals, right? Like, there's fun rivals and there's mean rivals. This rival is not a nice person. No,
he is. I mean, so the cool thing, and this is why he's actually my favorite rival. The cool thing about this rival is it's very obvious that he has character development because, you know, he starts off like a complete jerk, right? Like he shoving you around, saying he's the best, everyone else is trash, blah, blah, blah. But he eventually gets a Crobat, which you can't get a Crobat unless you treat your Pokemon well. So like also he becomes a lot less harsh too. So it's like you can see his attitude change and you can tell that he cares about his Pokemon.
Oh, that's cool.
Like there's like actual character growth. I'm such a cheater. I'm such a... All
Dang!
Right, that's
scripted!
So scripted. Look at this dirty cheater here.
Just joking.
All right, so I'm going to click that go mode button. So now I just have to beat the Elite Four and then beat Red.
There you go.
I have all the badges. I should do this first.
I think my favorite rival was the one from the most recent game, Scarlet Violet.
Oh, Nimona. Yeah,
I love her. She's so much fun.
I jokingly call her Goku because she's so ready to fight all the time. It's literally just Goku. Okay, so that I'm probably not saving time because I didn't fly there first and then I flew back anyway. But if you have all 16 badges before you fight the Elite Four, you can actually get like a neat little time save here. Like you can unlock Mount Silver slightly early. And
nice.
You could get the fly point for it. So after you beat the Elite Four, you just come back. It saves like 20 or 30 seconds. Like it's actually like a big amount, but it's so unlikely to happen. Also, lucky for us, because we have all our badges and we're in go mode, I don't have to pick up anything anymore. We're literally just going. We're breezing.
Love
Easy
this
breezy
song.
from here.
This song goes so hard.
It's a really good song. I adore all the chiptune Pokemon music. Like it's so good. Like anytime I've ever played a Pokemon game that has a way to play like the older format of music, I take it like every time.
Oh, by the way, best Pokemon character of all time, Keys. I'm going with Larry. How about you?
Larry.
I love him.
Maybe it's just because we're in the retirement home now, but Larry speaks to me.
I love, again, I don't want to spoil anything later on that happens with Larry. I love Larry's character so much.
Larry's character is so relatable. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if you like polled anyone like 16 and under and then polled anyone like 21 and older.
Yeah.
How skewed Larry's popularity would be. Like with a lot of younger people, it'd be like, oh yeah, he's funny, I guess, or whatever. Like that. Probably like not even a top 30 character for them. Whereas like people our age, it's like, oh yeah, he's number one. He's so number one that he's like triple S tier.
I just remember reading his lines in the game and I'm like, I love this guy. He's so great.
Yeah.
I just never thought to myself, this is the most unforgettable Pokemon character I will. No! Come on!
Man, they really don't want to be nice to you tonight.
I'm so sad. Oh.
I like Ampharos. I'm sad now.
There's so many cute Pokemon. Oh my gosh, no! Not Gyarados.
Oh my god. Okay, Rock Slide's 90% to hit, and I missed 3 in a row. Fantastic.
Well, you know what that means. It's 50-50 if it's not 100%.
Yeah.
You know how this works.
Yeah. Unless it's an enemy, in which case it's 100%. Unless the sun is in their eyes.
Yes, I love the scene where Larry treats you to a meal. That is the best. It's so good.
It is wholesome. I do like the latest interactions that you have with Larry. Like,
yes.
Again, not to spoil in case someone hasn't played through the game yet, but like you do run into him more than once, and like one of the later times you run into him is just so funny and like so relatable as a millennial.
By the way, for folks watching, I mean, we still have a few battles left, but again, I want to take this time to shout out Keys. Again, Keys, the time always flies by, the time we get to spend together. So thank you so much for being on the show. That is
6:30 already? What?
Yeah, time flies.
I didn't even realize.
Yeah, we're just having a nice conversation, and you're playing epically, and our time here is almost done, yeah.
My goodness.
Like I said,
I love being on your shows, by the way. Like, I don't think I've always said, like, thanks for having me on and whatnot. I don't think I've ever just, like, outright, flat out said, I love your shows.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I just like to chill with chat and whoever I'm on. I mean, yes, the gameplay is cool and important and all, but sometimes I just like to talk to folks, you know, whether it be in the chat or with my guests. It's important to me.
Yeah, like, I mean, obviously, like, every single Hotfix show kind of has, like, its own vibe.
Yeah.
You know, just depending on, like, who's hosting and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I think the thing that I appreciate a lot about being on your shows is it's almost like an interactive interview.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you're basically just interviewing me the whole time, but like we also have like gameplay in the background and also just like a lot of like really silly inside jokes that we get to share with people.
Yeah.
The vibes here are immaculate.
I appreciate that. We do our best here. All right, so this is the final trainer in this gauntlet. Like he's made this all look easy. This is our quote unquote champion, or is it parentheses? You know, because obviously there's a little bit more. But
After this, we enter the Hall of Fame, and then
oh, poor. Now that is a bunny, okay?
that is 1,000% a bunny.
That's a water bun. Poor baby.
It's a cutie, is what it is.
No, not.
Wow, this game really?
They're so cuddly. Okay, that's not as cuddly, but you know what I mean.
This game is so anti-noodle.
Look at Venomous eyes. Okay, that's not very cute.
That's like the fourth parasect in this Elite Four. What the heck?
Poor bunny.
So many parasites. Oh yeah, we gotta like go through like 30 seconds of Thank goodness, by the way, I don't know why it took me this long to point this out because it's been 2 hours, but I have hold to mash on, which is another quality of life thing that's included in this mod. That's the one thing that I don't miss about speedrunning Pokemon games is the amount of mashing through text you have to do.
Yeah.
And it's like it's one of those things too where I like going all the way back to when we were kind of talking about like health and like stream health and all that stuff. I don't think people give mashing the respect that they should because like it's a mindless thing to do a lot of times, right? Like you're just hitting A and B or like X and triangle or whatever. But like mashing really strains your wrist, fingers, and hand muscles.
Yes. I think fighting games still do the worst thing to my hands. Joysticks are also a pretty big culprit in that. I do much better with a D-pad in terms of long-term playing versus any kind of joystick.
I noticed that when because I have a Smashbox, and that was kind of inspired because Bobby uses fight sticks all the time.
Yeah.
But I have a Smashbox, and I'm not quite comfortable with it yet when it comes to like legitimate speedrunning. Instead of like just like challenge runs or casual things. But I do want to get comfortable with it because it feels a lot more ergonomic.
Someone said, is the Elite Four the best way to level your Pokemon to 100? I mean, in Randomizer, if you find a shop that sells rare candies, that would probably be my advice for leveling them on to 100. Oh my gosh, what a cutie.
Yeah, so like if usually the best way, God, they really just want me to murder everything cute. The best way would probably be, oh my God, two would probably be Elite Four. All right, last Mon, and this one isn't cute, so who cares?
Yeah.
All right, so as soon as the screen fades and we pull up the stat screen, that's time and time.
Look at you making quick work out of that.
Yeah, once we were ready to go, actually, this Hoa was not good either. Holy crap. But once we got like most of the badges and we just started like, we kind of fell into some items, but it was kind of funny because I remember before the second break, before the first break, I had mentioned like I tend to go to areas that have more checks, and the logic that I have is more random. Like it's not like if you get cut, then the next thing is probably behind cut. Yeah. But I started doing it that way. Just now, and it literally led to everything. So maybe I did set it up that way, and I am once again a dummy about it. But that's okay. We got there eventually. Oh yeah, we absolutely got there. But I just after looking at the stats, I understand what you're talking about now. You made that work very well considering. And even though we ran into golems, it's not like again rock moves are so scarce, right? And I can say that now because I knew I wasn't going to jinx any of your gameplay. Like I knew we were gonna be fine with Ho. All right, I'm double checking because we said rock slide, rock throw, and ancient power. So I'm double checking right now. Rollout. We forgot about rollout. Rollout could be scary. Like rollout that could actually be like super scary. Yeah. Anyone who doesn't know how rollout works, once you use it for 5 turns straight, and it doubles in power each turn. So like it's 90 accurate, which That's a funny thing about rock moves is most rock moves aren't 100% accurate. Like in this game, it's only ancient power. Every single other rock move can miss. Sandstorm technically counts as a rock move, but I mean,
yeah, I was gonna say I think weather's treated a little differently.
Yeah, there's 5. There's only 5 rock moves. You're so unlikely to run into one, but it's still running anything with a 4 times weakness is always terrifying. And then running something like a Magcargo that is allergic to water and ground. Terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible.
I forgot how cute this ending screen is. It's adorable.
Oh, the Ditto's dancing, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an example of a Pokemon Crystal full item randomizer. Like we mentioned at the beginning and kind of like sprinkled throughout the whole stream. I did slightly easier settings, but it's a really customizable experience. Like I said earlier, you could reduce it so it's only key items that get shuffled around and not every item mixed up. You can do things like reduce the Pokemon's levels or increase the Pokemon's levels. You can do really wild stuff like change the typings, power of move, like all that stuff. Like that, there's so much you could do that you can probably play a randomizer like this for the next 10 years and just have a different experience literally every time.
Yeah, and again, it really shows how passionate you are about this generation of Pokemon. I mean, you know it so well, you know the maps so well. I mean, it's no wonder that you play this one quite a bit. You have the love for that comes with just playing and having the experience with it.
Oh yeah. It is definitely my favorite generation. I know what's wrong with the game. I know that there's some balancing issues and whatnot, but it is definitely my favorite.
Well, again, it was wonderful to have you on. I enjoy the conversations as always, Keys. And again, if you want to talk about your stream real quick, we have a couple seconds here. Talk about your stream, shout outs, any of those things, please, by all means.
Yeah, so, I mean, just twitch.tv/KeysRon, KEIZARON. That's pretty much every single social media ever, too. So, like, if you're a Twitter goer or YouTube or something, you can find me there, too. I do a bunch of Pokemon randos, do a bunch of archipelagos, do a bunch of challenge runs, so on and so forth. I believe Emre is here with a kitten now, so you know what?
Yeah, we got a second. We got time for a little kitty.
Yeah, we're Hotfix right now.
Oh, wow. Hello,
oh, you're
GDQ.
so small.
Yes, he's only 10.
Oh, you are a baby.
Praise. Oh, we own a ragdoll kitten.
Well, you're so precious. Yuki, calm down. Yeah, you can see the dog
Yeah.
too.
It's so small.
You're so tiny.
Aww.
Well, there you go. What a perfect way to. Also, there you go. Follow my stream because I have animals. You'll see animals all the time.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything else I could say. I think that's the perfect send-off. I have cat, I have kitten, I have dog, I have snack. Come follow me. Enjoy the vibes.
Aw, what a cute kitty.
Oh, I'm so stoked.
Well, thank you for that. That was really sweet to see. I love having pets on my show.
That was really good timing, too.
Yeah, that was absolutely perfect. And now you can go spend time with the kitty.
That's the plan.
Yeah. Well, you go enjoy that. Again, congratulations on the randomizer. Great time. And again, just great stream in general. We appreciate that.
Well, thanks for having me on. Always appreciate it.
And again, follow Keys again. Good gameplay, great animals as well. So please go do that. So again, folks, this is not the end of our GDQ broadcast. If you had fun here, I promise you will certainly have fun on the next show that we have tonight on Hotfix. But again, as a reminder, your subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, and bits shared on the GDQ Twitch channel help support Games Done Quick Hotfix. If you enjoy watching speedruns and our Hotfix shows, consider subscribing to the channel. Again, I'm a showrunner, Keys is a showrunner, and of course, please watch The First Step when it airs. Again, we have a complete schedule on GamesDoneQuick.com/hotfix, so please check out all of our shows. Again, Keys, thank you so much. It was great.
Absolutely.
So, again, this is not the end of our Hotfix content tonight, though. Stay tuned for Time Capsule coming up after the break. Take it away, Tippy.